This has been one hell of an experience. Have a look at that. Change in the garden. Made a little seat there. Into the little bush. So you can sit inside. Enjoy the fabric. Yeah, guys, let's go visit. Picking up his pictures randomly just come up. Yeah, we're getting the ticket to go back to Tokyo for the night in the hotel. We'll be editing all this together. Possible. Do
I'm with a cold sweat.
hot sweat, man.
You said this were going home with you.
600 quid, wasn't it?
Oh, how much? Hey, oh, did you hear that?
No.
He said 600. We're having that as a first time thing.
20 seconds.
Right, if I bid again, are you going to bid any more?
He's
got that stonker face on his nose.
10, 9,
Well done, mate.
Well done.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But then, do you not get? If you get a swipe, do you not? Does it not start to build up down?
Sorry, I had to do it. Sorry.
You've eaten everything I've ever built on a slope, mate. I forgot everything.
Got you. Good evening, all. Welcome to this week's GKP Thursday Night Live. Unfortunately, we have an announcement, ladies and gents. This will be the last Thursday Night Live without Rick, because he's not joining us this evening. He's having the night off and he's going to a gig, getting shit-faced and having a blast of a time. So, hope you're having a good enjoy and let us know how it went on. Look at this. Right, tell me, how do you even do this? Right, because I don't even know how I did this myself. And I typed it. What the hell? Where's it gone? Somewhere. Sure, there, look. How do you type in good evening, start shouting, good, and then whisper the E, and then shout Vin all? How do you even do that? How do you type that? Yeah, spastic springs to mind. That's what I'm saying. How's your week been, mate?
Lovely.
Lovely. Now then, how about the truth?
It's been a good week. It's been a frustrating week, a good week. Started off Saturday night with Rick spending the night here.
Oh, I bet that were messy, wasn't it? Sunday morning. Were you feeling a bit rough?
Even the head didn't agree with it.
That would mint that. Is that what you just sent me?
No, there's another one.
Oh, I've got to play that too, because that was really good. We've been chatting, me and Matt, and Matt has been getting into doing a little bit more of the old technology and editing.
Even at my age.
Even at his age, yeah, that was one thing that did make me laugh. Even at my age, and I'm still managing to grasp it. Technically, if you'd done this would be shit up, but you actually got something else to do it for you, which is still pretty good because that takes some working out as well. And I shall share this so you can have a. This was what these two got up to on. What was it, Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah.
I mean, have you seen that? Actually, Rick ends up almost 25 years younger in that picture at the end. But yeah, I did like that one, mate. That was quite good. Oh shit, there were another one, weren't there?
So this is what Rick was doing, and it was hilarious.
So this is literally what Rick was doing on the Saturday night. And I'm guessing, is this at yours then?
Yeah. It's really spooky though.
Isn't it weird? Does it make you feel a bit woozy-headed?
Yeah, you were literally, I can't remember what the name of the game was that he put me on, and you were literally in the room and you had these mannequins in there. You had all of these little, it was like the maze. You had to find your way out by solving all the puzzles. But it was literally like you were in there. It's weird,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, like those ones where you can get where you've got to walk a plank or you've got to walk along a real thin, platform with this massive fall at either side. We've seen people that have done that and like wobbling all over places. They're trying to actually physically walk. Anyway, that's not much to do with Koi, but it's to do with Matt and Rick's weekend on the sesh.
Yeah, and it was a good one.
It was a good one. I bet there wasn't much room left, was there?
No, it was about 2:30 by the time we finished.
Oh, a good session.
It was a late one.
Yes, this is true, and I was only a minute late, 1 minute, because we were talking about what we've got to discuss this evening, which was absolutely nothing. So we just talked crap for a few minutes, and then I realised when I read that comment, I seen it come up saying late again. I thought, oh shit, Matt, we should be live. So we were straight into it. Thanks very much for the heads up. Right. So last Thursday night.
No, got one more. Got one more. It's Friday. Yeah, next Friday morning I go. So yeah, I do the Thursday night, and then
all right.
A few hours.
I didn't know if you'd be like, last minute jobs and getting everything done and sorting all that lot out.
No, I had my hair cut today. That's that job done. I had my back wax last week. That's me done. My vocal cords done.
Sack and crack, yeah.
Vocal cords done for the karaoke.
Some lozenges. Yeah, I've been doing a bit of a. Have you got your height ready? Yeah. There you go. It still needs a little bit of work.
Yeah.
So we left you with Spielberg, apparently. Oh, and apparently you can get arrested for calling yourself. Perhaps that wasn't the best choice of words, but yeah. Right, ladies and gents, if anybody has got any topics that would like us to have a chat about, hopefully Crafty will be joining us later on as well. Do us a usual favour, guys. Stick it in there with a question mark on the end because it makes it stand out from everybody else's comments and topics when they're talking and, people chatting through there themselves. So it'll stand out a little bit better for us. Oh, while I'm thinking on, Look, got me new.
And
Wrong arm. God damn it. My new merch has come. So if anybody's interested, I'll see if I can do. This is going to be hard to even see. So if anybody's interested and would like to get any or pick up any GKP merch or any of the other groups that are in there with the collaboration with Yasukoi, swing by and make your purchases if you wish. Thank you very much, guys. If you do, all proceeds nothing comes to me. It all goes straight to Yasukoi. So you're only helping support another small business within the koi community and helping them grow and expand their company. So if everybody is interested, it's there at www.yasukoi.co.uk. I hope that's right. I think it is. Yeah, it is. I'm just checking on the old coffee mug. But if anybody has got any, your butterfly hoodie looks absolutely awesome, Gaz. Thank you very much, Susan. It does, doesn't it? It's lovely. And it's also in watercolours too. Oh, that is mint. She actually did me a favour and all and tidied it up a little bit and straightened up a couple of little issues on it. And also put the black text that would be normal there into white, and then vice versa. If you wanted a lighter coloured one, you can get it with the logo writing in red. I also got a little bit of work linked in on it as well to keep the little bit of association with who I now work for. All right, what we got to talk about? Everybody want to talk about anything? Oh, sorry, I was going to say, if anybody would like to do a stand-in, Rick, for the evening, you've got to dye your hair with a funny colour on top but grey at the sides. You've got to drink shit ton of ale by end at night and still be stood and still be talking sense. But if anybody would like to join us this evening, feel free to click that link there and jump in and come on and have a sit and a natter with us. Why not? Right then. Actually, topic-wise, I've got one for you. Let's see what you think to this one. When you was talking about the things that the gentleman was doing and all the tinkering on his pond, do you think people are capable of over tinkering and going to a point where we go too clinical with a pond?
yeah, definitely 100%. But in this circumstance, no, because it's only really biological that he's playing with. But I do think that people can tinker with the ponds with treatments, adjusting the water parameters. You know, I know somebody that the pH is slightly low, so they chuck in some meds. Slightly too high, they lower it. And they're just doing that all the time.
Leaving it to
gradually
rise and fall if it's going to do make big jumps and changes.
And like Rick said in the past, you know, the fish get accustomed to the pH, you know, and you see people out there that got low pHs and people out there that got high pHs or even, you know, the KH.
Yeah.
They get used to it.
Yeah, Mick Lawson, who used to be on with us several years ago, a year ago, whichever, something like that. But he always used to have a stable KH. I think it was 9.5 or 10. And it was always up at that all the time. And his fish didn't seem bothered by it whatsoever. But I know they're comfortable through a fair few ranges of the pH. But he actually had it like that continuously and never had any issues or never had any problems with it. So yeah, like you say, I suppose the one thing that always springs to mind and everybody always says is stability is key, and keeping your conditions stable, which for me that would be continuously cold, and it's stable at that unless we get to summer months, which is a slow gradual climb up and then a rapid drop off. But keeping stuff like that, like your parameters and such, stable is a must. Is it?
The thing is, it's even like now. So I think it was Thursday, so it must have been Monday evening, we had 2.5 inches of rain overnight.
That's my point, mate. So yeah, that's what we're going to get at.
And
Trying to
there's
keep it stable is impossible if you're not covered, is it?
Exactly. You know, if you're covered, then yeah, it's fine. But there's going to be a good proportion of people across the country, probably as high as 80% uncovered, just normal koi ponds.
I know,
Uncovered.
I know it does. I tested rainwater that I've collected outside in a bucket just outside. It's what just trickles off. Don't go into gutter. It just trickles off a little bit of the side of the conservatory, and it always just seems to fill that little bucket up quite quick. So I tested the pH in there, and there was a considerable amount of difference between the pH in there and the pH in my tap water and the pH of the pond.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I just wanted to see how much of a difference the pH would make as it's dropping from sky in rainwater. And it was quite a considerable difference. It surprised me, to be fair. And then you think, when you've got that amount of rain that's coming into your pond and you're trying to keep that stable, if you've not got covers on, you've not got a polytunnel, it's almost mission impossible, because KH changes as your filter uses it and consumes it. pH changes as you've got water dropping in, and then you're changing it again when you're doing water top-ups and stuff.
Well, you know how difficult it is with the salt. You know, when you've got salt in your pond, how long it takes to actually dilute it down by water changes. If you get a lot of rainwater going into the pond over a 2-3 week window, you know, just doing your water changes, you think how much water change you've got to do from the tap to bring that KH back up. You know,
see, with mine, with my KH is only 1 out of the tap. So if I've got a KH of 1 coming out, every time I do a water change, I'm reducing the KH in my pond, so I have to buffer it up. Oh, hang about. Well, we will come back to it, but we'll see if we can help Paul with his question that he's got there. What could cause a muddy orange tinge to my pond water? Well, I can tell you one thing that would do, mate, and that could be your koi food, depending on what type of brand of food that you're feeding, because I've seen a muddy orangey tinge when excess amounts of a very good food is going into a pond, creates that kind of tinge to your water. And let's just say sakayakari, although it is very good, but when you're feeding a lot of it and feeding a good amount of it, you do get staining and tannins coming out of your actual food, as well as, you know, other brands such as Coppens, because I've experienced that myself. Sake colour and growth. There you go, mate. There's your tinge.
Do you think is it coming directly from the food, or is it coming from the shit? Not
That's it. That's the thing. Is it the food, or is it the shit that they produce, or feeding well as heated? That'll do it. That's it, mate. That's you just need to be able to pull some fines to pull it out of your water column, mate. Try adding a clay to coagulate it all together and then pulling it out through your what they call it, filter floss or something like that. If you've got it, mate, and that'll pull it, clean it up. But yeah, when we're feeding our stock at work and we're feeding heavy on a feeder, they're getting 6 feet a day plus whatever we wang in as well, then we do get, you know, a lot of discoloration. But it's not bad, but it's enough to make it do that kind of coloration. But it's what you said, Matt. Is it the shit that's coming out that's the same color that gets, you know? Well, I'd imagine it's going to be a mixture of both, to be fair.
Because do you not notice during the colder weathers as well that the shits are firmer, and you see them on the bottom of the ponds,
and more like twice the size of what they would normally be.
Yeah. Where during the summer months, it's almost like they're digesting every single morsel of goodness from that shit. And when they do shit, it just breaks down and disperses. And believe it or not, I could see it on actually inside the house. When you see them crapping in here, it almost comes out the vent, not as a cloud, but it comes out as a loose particle. Yeah. Where all of the tanks down the bottom, every single one of them, you know, they're sitting on the bottom of the ponds, and you see them obviously going up into the bottom drains or going down into the bottom drains, but you see it this time of year. But is it undigested?
Okay, well, you'd like to hope that it wasn't undigested. If it's feeding, it's heated, then you'd like to hope that it is, and they're digesting it, just basically shiting it out over side, mate. And it goes in that orangey brown colour, doesn't it? So it comes out that orangey brown colour discoloration in your water. So if you're at 26 degrees, there you go. That's why, mate. Although sake akari is good and you get very little waste, you will get some tinting of your water column, which is one thing I've seen myself personally. And when I had the feeder going on and they were on balance with colour, I did get a colour tinge to my pond last summer when they were getting 6 feeds a day. And I normally I never fed that amount of food in the past. But with having such a good summer and the temperatures up as high as they were, it was definitely something I noticed as well, mate. Water, change it out. But again, you're changing water for the sake of changing water. If you don't mind not being able to see your fish, then it ain't such a bad thing. The clarity is for you, not for them. As long as the parameters are good, that is, obviously. Right then, next. What was we talking about? Oh yeah, tinkering. What do you think to go into the lengths of such as an arrow system? What's not very, very popular, are they? But a lot of people seem to be having trouble with the water parameters, especially in certain areas across the UK where they're having to go to do something because of what's coming through on their supply, especially when you've got a drum feed. And you've got that, constant cycle of it being removed and having to be topped back up again.
But if you go down onto the RO system of the average aquarium, indoor pond, more or less, loads of people use the RO because of the benefits from it.
Yeah.
So just on a bigger scale, it's got to pay off. But again, you've got the issues then the RO takes out every single
everything.
bit.
Then you've got to start putting stuff back in again.
Yeah. And if you're slack, you're not on top of it, you don't quite understand what you're doing, you could be doing a lot of harm. And you could start that, like I was just saying just a minute ago about the wave, going up and down, up and down, up and down with the hardness and replacing the minerals that aren't in that water.
Oh, yes, Eska says there. I grow all my grow and show with a difference fry on RO system. I'm guessing that's what you used to have for Coral Reef because I don't know if you did last year. Yeah, it is last year, but the year before, you definitely grew them on and you grew them on in your tank, didn't you? In your big coral tank. So I'm guessing that must be an RO system that you've got that you used to have for that you still run through. I would imagine, I don't know, because I ain't got a clue, but I would imagine an RO system ain't all that cheap, but I don't know how cheap it is to run either. A lot of waste.
There's no cost to run them apart from the replacement of the filters. There's no electric or anything like that on it. You've got a big waste. It'd be interesting if Seska would come on because Seska's had marine fish, so she understands exactly what an RO system does and replacing all the mineral contents that are coming out. It'd be interesting.
You get a heck of a lot of waste water from it, don't you? As in byproduct, from
the only way you can explain it, and I've got one here, and it's not being used anymore for the discus. We used to keep discus fish, and it's a drip coming out of your usable end, and it's a pour coming out of your waste.
Wow,
it's that much difference.
Wow. Well, there we go. This is a good one, and all we're gonna put this one up. David Cook says, Matt, your last video was a banger, mate.
We enjoyed doing it. But it's YouTube, and all of this is just mind blowing. And it is. It's just I can't work out, what the trigger is.
Mate, there's lots of people out there on YouTube that try to don't do this, do this, do that, do this, do the other. And you watch all those other videos, half of them all contradict each other. You do any of them, and it makes feck all difference that you can see. And then sometimes you'll do a video and it'll do really well. Other times you'll do a video and it'll do absolutely shit. You can do a short and it'll be absolutely fantastic. And it'll do, you know, a couple thousand views. And then you do a similar sort of thing on a different Saturday, on a different day, and it doesn't do no. So, yeah, there's no rhyme or reason, mate. It's all about the algorithm, and that's the one.
Yeah, and I think I'll do okay because obviously during the summer months, particularly, I'm spending probably half my week at different ponds, whether we're building them or whether we're going in doing filtration, you know, new filter, or just building one. So we can keep doing different things all the time.
It was a great video. That's why I called him Spielberg.
And believe me, guys, I hate doing this sort of thing. I get, me and Gaz spoke about it a few times. Yeah.
To be fair, though, mate, it is a bit daunting when you first start doing it, and then it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. And don't bother worrying about it, Matt. 100% at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun doing it, that's been just that. Don't bother worrying about it, Matt. At the end of the day, if you are having fun and you're enjoying doing it, then keep doing it because you're enjoying doing it. If you get to the point where you're not, then...
The only thing I will say is I do 100% take my hat off to all the proper YouTubers. You know, I'm doing it not for fun, not doing it for business. It's just trying to bring over a few, particularly this time of year. It's nice for you guys because you don't get to see many other people's ponds. You can't do pond visits. So it's a good way of me just showing you. But for the YouTubers that do it, you know, yourself guys, Vince, Tony, Dave, all of the, you know, Darren, everybody, I take my hat off to you because it ain't easy.
It ain't easy, mate. And do you know the real kicker, the worst one is when you think I can have a break for a little bit, and then you try to come back, you're right back where you started, and you might have 3,000 subscribers, but they ain't watching, they ain't clicking, they ain't viewing, they ain't paying attention to notifications because half of them don't get notifications anyway, and half the time people move through different channels and different stuff and different. I'm not just talking about koi related stuff. I'm talking about, you know, YouTube in general, and people just migrate through to different stuff, different times of year, do better peaks, rises and falls in it, and then you get, you know, sometimes where you'll just hit that sweet spot and you'll get plenty of views throughout, no matter what you put out.
The one that was interested, I was looking at it earlier on, was the stats. You know, the sex, male, female, and the age group. You know, it was like big difference.
Oh yeah,
on mine, on the subscribers, it's 3% the ladies.
Yeah, and I've even now mine with what I've got, I think I've only got something like 5 or 6% females. There's not as many subscribers that seem to be all koi related that are female koi keepers. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't female koi keepers because I know they are, but it's nowhere near as popular with women as what it is with men.
The only one I know that has got a high subscribing of ladies is Tony Farmer, but I think that's his good looks and his charm that all the ladies follow. Bang, got you, Tony.
It's quite cheap to add. It's quite cheap, but it costs a little to add all the additives. Right, so there you go. So you do have a little bit of a layout when it comes to all that kind of stuff of it to put it back in again. I'm sure I saw something else there about the. There we go. For 1 litre of RO, about 3 to 4 litres waste. Wow. So if you're doing a pond load, that's a hell of a lot of waste, isn't it? God damn. But yeah, it just makes me wonder just how far. I mean, we've said this and we've said it time and time again, and there are plenty of channels, mine being one in itself, where I'm a firm believer that koi keeping shouldn't and doesn't have to be expensive, as Vince always sings from the same hymn book, and it really doesn't. But there's so many people out there that throw so much money at it, man. It makes me wonder just what other kind of expensive hobbies they might have, how much their life must cost on stuff that you don't need in life. I.e., keeping koi is it's not needed, is it? It's something we do for fun and for pleasure. But to lay a lot of that outlay out there on it, to do it as they do, that's some serious dedication to keeping basically.
Yeah, don't you think that goes down to the same level or the same situation with the fish themselves that you'll have?
Well, this is the thing. This is for me. This is the kicker that I always think that the vast majority of people that have got fancy, the really, really fancy systems, how much would they spend on their average koi? That's how much do you reckon, you guys out there? How much do you reckon the average koi keeper that's got an RO system, a drum, blah, 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 a fancy pond, 20,000 litres, whatever, how much do you reckon they'd spend? Or how much do you think they'd spend on their average koi? Because they don't seem like they've got too much of a problem to go out there and put 16, 17 grand's worth of filtration system on and then go out and buy a 300 quid koi. You'd think that they're probably more likely to have £5,000-6,000 koi. Oh, I've got another topic now.
And even with the koi, when you think about it, there's some people out there that spend shed loads of money for the fish, but never actually get to own the fish or have in their possession.
Yeah.
So it's down, and I guess it's the same with any hobby. It's down to what they've got as expendable money.
Yeah.
If somebody is like some of the figures I see being spent, and I'm like, Jesus, I would give them a right arm to be able to spend that money. And I've potentially at times got that money to spend, but there is no way I would ever.
It's something that caps you and stops you from doing it and committing to that amount.
And like one of the hobbies I've done for years, but probably in the last 20 years eased off on it, was gliders. I used to love building my own glider and flying it. Now you can go and buy a glider that is a kit, 80 quid, and probably give you 2 months of building and then go and fly it. And that's a big achievement. And it's only cost, like I say, 70 to 100 pounds.
Yeah, it's not that massively much of
exactly.
But then you can go out and buy some kits that'll cost you thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
Exactly. So it is how much money you've actually got. Can you imagine going to the local hill and chucking off a £2,000 plane?
You wouldn't want to let go of it, would you?
No, exactly. It's just like, oh God,
If this all goes wrong, especially on its first flight, on its maiden flight, like if you launch it and it nosedives and smashes to a million pieces,
I had one as well.
But it's the same thing with your coin. It's the same thing in it. You go out and you buy. I mean, I would be shitting myself if I'd gone. Let's say I went to Japan again this year and I bought myself a £4,000 koi and I brought that home. I mean, I wouldn't, because is there any point putting a £4,000 koi in a pond like that? But if I did, I would be shitting myself thinking, if I get up in the morning and that £4,000 koi is dead, then I'm going to be joining it aside of it, because our lass is going to lever me with a shovel and knock me clean out.
It'd be even worse to look out the window and see a heron sat there with it stuck in his mouth.
Exactly. You're just thinking, that's my £4,000 koi, you bastard. I'd hunt that. If that were me, though, I'd hunt that heron down for the rest of my life until I found it.
The funny thing is, the heron wouldn't know any difference between that £4,000 fish.
No, they don't, do they? I mean, you can't blame them. They're just doing what they're doing out there. They're just living their life, and they have to feed the young and all the rest of it. So, I mean, they're just doing what nature does. But yeah, that'd piss me off big time. It really would. Michael's putting a question there. This, I suppose we can answer this, Matt. See what you think. Question: do you think a dealer should inform the customer what water parameters they have, and also if they've come out of a tank with salt in?
You'll probably find that most dealers will have salt in there, 100%.
Yeah.
Every dealer I know, Rich is a bit different in the sense that some of them will, some of them won't. But the majority of them will have salt in the ponds.
For the point of the bit with, if they were to turn around and say, yes, we have salt in our ponds. Yeah, I mean, that would be, I would say, a reasonable thing to do if asked, or volunteering that information across to the client and purchasing a new fish. But the other one, the parameters, I don't really see as it makes any difference, because if they were to turn around and say, yeah, we've got this, and this, are you going to then think, well, hang about, I've checked my parameters before I come home, before I left home, so now I'm not going to purchase that fish that I really like? Or are you then going to go, right, well, can you hold that fish for me till I go back and get my parameters to be exactly the same, affecting all your other fish to accommodate your new fish?
Certainly you wouldn't want the dealer not giving you the information, but you'd have to ask him, because you
I don't see as if, I mean,
you would just presume that they want a steady, even.
You'd like to think that they were, zero, well, we'll say zero ammonia, that's not possible, but a low ammonia, nitrite, nitrates, and all the rest of it, KHB. But I mean, that kind of information, KH of whatever, a pH of whatever, I could see why somebody might want to know that. And then they might think it's a little bit less of a parameter shock when they go in. But again, that's why we acclimate as fish. And some people go to the trouble to not only to acclimate them, to acclimate them, but to drip feed them in with some of their water from there, so that they're not just taking that quick, great big shock.
So guys, if you had a pond that was 7 pH and they were going to go to a pond that was 7.5, would that be an issue? Would you be worried?
I won't be worried at all, no. I mean, that's what I mean. Unless it's some massive, dramatic change from their environment to your environment, then there's no real thing, in my opinion, to be worrying about. And the main reason I would say that is because all establishments should be trying to keep as a stable as environment, as we've said already, and as close to those cock-on curve mark parameters as it is, i.e., 6 kH and a pH of 7 to 7.5. That's what you'd be expecting, wouldn't you? And you won't want any of them to be going through any forms of high levels of ammonia, blah, 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 blah. You want them all to be as clean as a whistle as best as they could be, wouldn't you? Really. So what information could a dealer, other than saying, yes, we've got salt in our tanks, but is that going to be detrimental for them to go to a new environment without salt?
Well, is it detrimental, and is it a negative to the dealer that he's got salt in his pond? No. The salt is there for a purpose. It's not trying to hide anything. It's just trying to give the fish the better, safer, less stressful environment.
While it's in a shop environment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a miles. It's like Crafty would tell us if he were on, and if he's in comments, if he's listening, he would say that the fish within his establishment, with it having a lot of high foot traffic and everything else, are probably going through a great deal more stress there in that environment than what they would be in your back garden pond, which is, that would be the same for you, Matt, for me, for us, anybody. There's somebody in and out, whizzing backwards and forwards, fish are getting netted, they're getting taken out, they're photographed and videoed and blah, 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 and everything else. And then you've got, scrapes being done, you've got routine checks, water changes, you name it. It's all going on the same as what it is at your environment, but on a larger scale and more often and more regular within a commercial environment. So I would say to have salt in your water is a must for us, but not necessarily for yourselves, but a reason for it being there in a dealer's in the first place. Because it is more stressful for same as being a show, isn't it?
Yeah, if you did sort of a couch show of the fish arriving at the new pond, you would almost like to imagine them putting them in the pond and then going, and relax.
Yeah.
Because it is,
there's a lot more peaceful environment for them to go to a new pond. Although it's stressful for them to be moved, picked up, boxed up and everything else and shifted, it's a much more stressful environment for them to be in when they get back to your own pond. But yeah, look at these, Matt. The last one was excellent. Matt, you come over really well in your videos, mate. Oh, and then this one. Matt, will you be filming any content from Japan?
Yeah, all of it. Every single bit. And that's one of the reasons why I've done the ones I've just done, was just so that when I'm in Japan, I can fire them out quickly. I will be doing it on my own, and I want to, and I've got it all set up. You'll like my opening for the new video. Got it all set up and it's ready to go. So yeah.
What about this one? Get yourself a catchphrase, Matt. Thank your mothers for the rum. LOL.
I will remember that one.
You've got, I mean, everybody seems to have a little bit of something that they do, don't they? That they sign out with and all that kind of thing, or your own little quirky bit that you say throughout your videos or whatever it is, whatever it might be. But yeah, there is a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people all say it, you know, but to like a video, if you hadn't liked it but you've sat there and watched it, why did you sit there and watch it if you didn't like it? What harm does it matter, or what harm does it, or what does it take to click a thumbs up, which for the content creator is a great thing, because that pushes it out, and it genuinely does, guys. It genuinely does push it out to a wider audience. They get 1,000 people watching most weeks on this, but hardly ever get over 100 thumbs up. So that means 900 of them thought it was shit, but come back week in, week out and watch it. I don't get it. I mean, it's nothing for somebody to do, and it's something I've always done. And any video that I've watched, and don't get me wrong, there's been videos where I've given a thumbs down, where it used to actually make a difference. And there's been videos where I thought, that's just not worth. What do you mean you can get back? Exactly. See, there's been, you know, where there's been bits where you think, I'm not going to give that a thumbs up because I didn't enjoy it, or I might have got halfway into it and thought, that's shite, man, and just turned it off. And I'm not talking about koi channels, I'm just talking about in general. But to hit the share, that's, you know, that's a little bit different. To hit the thumbs up, or to give it a bit of a hype, which is a new one that they've brought into it now, is a little bit of, oh, good evening, is a little bit of that type of thing that anybody can do at no cost to you. Or to even turn around and, you know, to share it. It don't cost nothing if you're enjoying it. If you're not, then, you know.
It's funny because I was teasing my mum the other night, and I was saying to her, Mother, I can't believe you haven't subscribed to my channel. And she said, well, how much is it going to cost me?
That's what most people think as well. Mate. You'd be surprised how many people think that. How do I subscribe? How much is it going to cost? Well, if I do I have to sign up to YouTube? How much was that going to cost me on a subscription? It's not. It's free. And all of the functions where you can correspond and go back and forth through with them all are absolutely free. Anyway, good evening, Anthony. How are you, mate? Hope
good
you're
evening,
well.
Gary.
You good, bud? You had a good week?
Oh, mate.
Here we go. It's off. So, no.
Stressful week before Japan.
Stressed.
Yeah, fucking loads going on. I've double sold a fish, which didn't help, an expensive fish.
Got paid out twice. Chop it in half, straight down middle.
It's not good though, mate, is it? You know, it's like...
No, shit happens though, mate, doesn't it? It's one of those... It's one of those things. Right, this is livestock is livestock, and mistakes happen. Things go wrong. Fish sometimes die. Fish, you know, could be not wrong with it, or you could have, you know, another issue that led to another problem with a transport shipment, whatever it might be, a burst bag, anything. Things do go wrong, and things can be stressful, mate, can't they? And
it's like, well, it was an Aoki Yellow Dragon Guz, and it was a fucking good one at that. You know, you probably know, you get them as well as me, mate, but there's so many people after it. I sent over a load of videos, and it was best one there that was chosen. I was like, yeah, no problems, do it for this price. But it had already been sold the day before by someone else, and I didn't know. So it basically, two people have been sent the same videos, and then called into the shop, said, I'll take it. I didn't get the message, sent it out to someone else that then said, yeah, I'll take it, and ended up having two people buying the same fucking fish. So it went rightly to the person that bought it first. So I weren't to know. But
Should have
it's
gone
just
into a
not good
bidding
when you-
war. Battle it out between you.
Well, mate, because someone's excited about getting the fish that they've probably been hunting for, and then you have to let one of them down, and it's just not good service. But at the same time, we're all human,
That's
and it was handled.
what I was trying to get at, mate. We're all human, and mistakes happen, and things sometimes, from time to time, go a little bit that way. Sometimes you can have a real good day. Sometimes you can have a bad day. Sometimes fish behave. Sometimes they don't. It's just
good. I mean, I've been looking at some of the videos coming out of Japan, and I must admit, I'm not normally one to get excited. Believe it or not, I don't really get excited about going to Japan. Are you mad? But it's such a stressful event that if I was going on a busman's holiday a little bit, I'd be super excited because
I can get that, mate. I could see from when I was there last time, I could see what it was like, seeing what Ryan were dealing with, and then seeing it from my point of view, which were fucking wow, shock and awe of the whole. This is mint. This is brilliant. This is great. But then at the same time, having to go back and sit back there and think, right, let's record what's actually going on and what's being done and what he's actually doing. And I can get it, man. I can see when day in, day out, flipping fish is going to get to a point, especially when you're looking for something for that perfect fish, for that perfect, that client that wants that specific thing. I can see it being, and then obviously there ain't just that, is there? It's not just they're doing that. Then it's all the contacting out there. It's people getting in touch, people chasing this, people wanting that. But then there's invoices, billing, and all the rest of it. And then, I imagine it would be a little bit on the stressful side, more so than an enjoyable holiday.
On pay, the difference is at the moment I'm paid by somebody. So, there's a lot riding on your selection in Japan. It's the same for Ryan, the same for Matt on a different scale. Here, the turnover that you see in the koi department literally pays the wage of everybody for a year. So you get that wrong.
Which adds more again, mate, doesn't it? That's more stacked on top, innit? That's
where the stress comes from. So, and then obviously there's competition out there. Everyone's doing the same thing at the same time. So, there's a lot going on. It's not a good time to be in touch.
Just hang on in there, Crafty. Don't worry, I'll soon be with you.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for your expertise to help me out, man. Thank you. And I'm on about at the bar, mate. just to make it worse, right? So today I got a message saying, "Have a good travel tomorrow," right? And I thought, "Oh man, I ain't going out to shit." And I looked at the boarding card that I've got on my wallet, on the phone, right? And it said, flying out on the 31st of January, which is Saturday. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I picked my email up and that said Monday the 4th. So I'm like, bollocks, is something wrong here?
Oh, shit.
I was like, holy shit, man. And then, so that gave me serious anxiety then, because I'm thinking, right, if it is Saturday, I've got no hotel to stay at when I get there. Someone's coming along with me as well, and he's booked onto the flight Monday. So are we disjointed now? But yeah, it ended up being last year's.
See, I bet your nipper were going just like his. Matt had a very similar thing with his, though, didn't you? A bit of an alteration of a little bit of a name difference. Just missing
5 minutes before that ticket was being cancelled.
They actually updated it and said it's been changed.
I ordered my Monopoly money today as well, so I picked that up tomorrow. 40 quid they fucking charge commission, robbing fuckers. But, have you seen who's in the comments?
Have I what, sorry?
Seen who's in the comments? A lot of people saying there's a lot of love for me tonight. I feel really special. Coastal Koi are watching, Gus.
Coastal Koi.
They've just been there, haven't they?
They're just,
Yeah,
they've just been. Maybe Coastal Koi. I hadn't seen that because I'm still going back up here watching, trying to pick out the ones that I still got the questions in. Question: I know someone local to me that feeds herons food. His fish seem to be okay. What's others' opinion on herons food? I know somebody that feeds herons food. I know a few people that have fed it in the past, mate, and they don't seem to have any trouble with it all. And it's got particular good growth, but not literally herons for food.
I was reading that. Like, why the hell would you be feeding?
The kind, but I don't think they just do heron. I don't think they just do fish food. I think they have to do a mixture of different foods.
Heron food's for heron, isn't it?
It's herons branded koi food, which is a bit of a piss takey spin on the fact that herons make food of fish. So I think that's quite a good little catch to it. Like you can actually wang herons back to your fish. Let them get their own back. But yeah, I think I know a few people that have fed it before in past, mate, and they've had good results with it and got, pretty damn good growth as well. Not a very popular one, but I know. In fact, I think Chris, who was in the comments, the truck driver Chris, which used to be. I think he used to be feeding that, or budget pond keeper. But I'm sure he used to be feeding that, or is.
Is there anyone in the comments using any JPD food?
Yeah, I use that. I got a fair few customers using it as well.
Yeah, it's a popular food, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wondered how many people watching use it. That's all.
Anybody feeding JPD? Answer now. Or
Where's
forever
Rick?
hold your silence.
Is Rick joining us tonight?
He's gone to a gig, mate. He's gone out. He's gone out. So it's all on you this evening. And Matt. Hope you're feeling
the pressure's on us.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, no pressure here, mate. I don't
No pressure. Nope, Saki for me, says the Koi Mum. Same as. Good evening as well.
Can I show something, Gus?
Yes.
I've got sent something. I put it on because I didn't want to get it dirty. See
that? And is that? Spin it around. That's. Is that one of those? Is that one of those? What is it? Is that one of those? What they call them? Them hoodie things. Oh, look at the size of that. I mean, that's a particular big logo.
Well, you got to fucking put it out there, mate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that. Sorry, mate. That did look massive, but it's not the fact that it's massive. It was because it was close.
It's just I stood back, mate, and I filled it out. That's what it tried to.
You were never good, yeah.
So Yasukoi sent me this. It's a bit of a rush order, and they literally turned it round within 9 hours. Because they're fucking banging people, aren't they? And yeah, something to start off is part of. I'm hoping to get the Koi Club sort of finalised by the 25th of April.
That's a funny old date, Crafty.
Why is that?
Well, normally it'd be like the 1st of.
Why do you think the 25th of April, though, Matt?
Your birthday.
Grow and show event.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought that was 24th. Just get it in for Rick because he's not here. I get it in for him. 24th. Up north, Koi says I've been feeding Shogun sparingly. There we go.
Cool.
Like me, Crafty, you will fit that when you're wearing it.
But the thing is, I asked for an extra size up, and I'm already a fat fuck. So, you know,
Well, I weren't saying that, mate. It just looked really big when you put it to camera.
you seen the amount of fucking snow in Japan, mate? It's like more snow than igloos ever could imagine to build with.
Some of the
There's
photos
a lot
I've seen, it looks like somebody's AI'd it because it's just like
So
massive sound.
I was like, I want it baggy so I can wear it over the top of some layers. I don't want to put layers on and end up looking like
Is this for your latest picture underneath the thingamabob? So you can stand there and rip it all off and turn into a samurai warrior.
Let's have. I don't even know what size it is, but I measured.
That's one size fits all. Mahusive, it says in label.
One size fits three.
One size fits for you, me. That's what it says.
4XL, that is.
Oh God, that's the fucking Big Macs. That's for room for the Big Macs. That's what that is.
Fucking mint.
4XL.
4XL.
I'm going to wear a jacket under it.
Oh yeah, of course you are.
You can
Jacket
go
under it.
Jacket under it, mate.
I bet that just fits now.
You can take that.
I've got 6 jumpers on tonight, man.
You could take that fishing with you and use it as a bivvy.
Captain Michelin Man in Japan.
Mr. Tate, me and you will fall out.
I love it, man. He always comes in.
You're losing weight and getting smaller, you old fucker.
Oh dear me. Let's see. 5XL. So Andrew says it was close.
Hey, have you seen some of the koi that Coastal bought in? He's just been down the south, hasn't he? He put some garum on that, mate. Fuck me, that was good.
We got some nice ones.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
I'll have a nosy at them. That makes room for his ramen noodles.
Think ahead, mate.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't want to grow out of me clothes, do I?
I said no. Oh, dear me.
I've got something I'm going to share with you, actually.
Oh, is it another rather oversized jumper?
No. This is fun.
This is fun.
I'll find it first and I'll send it over to you.
Ooh.
Fucking hell.
What's
Been
going
busy.
on? As if you're responsible for him, Matt. What the hell? So if everyone's got any problems with herons down his way, down Matt's way, you can blame Matt because as a young wee whippersnapper, he used to grow them on and feed them.
It's nuts, isn't it? I can remember as a kid, and I used to go down the river, and I used to spend the whole day down there catching the minnows, sticklebacks, baby trout, and I would go home, put a bowl there, and he would literally, and I'd been out for the whole day, and he would go, dunk, 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 all gone. I'm like, Jesus, wet.
So you actually had a pet heron?
Yeah.
Then a pet heron as a kid. What happened to said pet heron? Did you release it into the wild?
Yeah, whether he got on all right or not, I don't know. But we didn't sort of mix too well with him. So he literally had a bowl put in front of him, which imitated a normal koi pond.
So you put all his fish inside an imitated pond and then said, now we've grown you up to be a massive predator. On you go and do your worst.
Yeah. Yeah, secretly I'm still doing it, but I trained them not to come to my pond, just my customers.
Imprinted on them so they go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right then, let's have a quick look at this. Next one we've got there. Steelman said, question, my Kin Otsuka at 58 cm 2 years ago is going blind. Ooh. All the other koi are doing okay, but the water tests are all okay. Can it be a bacterial infection? Is it getting like a white glaze over its eyes? Cataracts or Sometimes they get a little bit of that funny colouring thing, don't they? And they go like a.
So you've got
Sometimes-
cloudy eye disease.
Oh, is that?
It's very easily fixed. Malachite green will get rid of that. It's their eye will go cloudy over, and they'll appear to be blind.
Ooh.
Off the top of my head. Again, everyone should have one.
What, a cloudy eye?
Well, I've got a couple of them fuckers. Mate. I've only got my glasses with me. You'll probably find it quicker on thingy anyway.
There we go. Let's see if we can share that. Let's see if it looks anything like this, mate. I put your question down at bottom bar. There we go. It says cloudy eye in koi is usually a symptom of an underlying issue like poor water quality, but you see your water's good. Ammonia stroke nitrite spikes, bacterial infection, parasite infection, or physical injury. It can present a hazy white or foggy eye, sometimes accompanied by pop eye, swelling. Koi treatments include improvement water quality, adding pond salts, if bacterial, using antibiotics. That's what Google says.
Yeah. Mate, I had it on one of my fish. I'm sure I used malachite green. It's very few and far between you see it. I think it was malachite green, mate, and within 24 hours it had completely disappeared.
Nope. Can also be an excessive mucus production too. Dr. Google, yes, very much so. If you don't know, you can always give it a quick research. But again, what Crafty was saying there, cloudy eye disease as well.
Don't forget though, this is when you look at the publication of this, guys, you're in the United States.
Yeah.
So
they're right different to ours, aren't they?
their treatment things are completely different to ours.
Yeah, they will be, yeah.
Look into cloudy eye and see whether it's that, mate. That's what I will point you towards.
I could have used malachite green to fix Lynn and save an operation, Dave says, because she's been having problems with her eye again, mate. Keep swimming into pond walls.
That's what mine was like. It did literally just bashed into the wall all the time.
That's a valid question. How the heck do you know when it's going blind?
Well, the way that it conducts itself in the pond, right?
Well,
Malefic, but it's getting older Malefics out. Anyway, sorry, mate. If you watch your fish, all right, they will. If they're blind, they'll literally just swim straight into the side of the wall.
There
That's
we go.
exactly what they do. Yeah, getting older Malefics is quite difficult, though.
Works well with cloudy eye, Mr. Tate says. There you go. Have a look into that, mate, and there you've even been given a very good treatment there as well.
Malefics is excellent stuff. It's hard to get though.
Why is that so big?
You're going to share my screen then, guys, or what?
Yes, sorry, mate. Where are we going? Right. I knew there was something beeped for a reason then. Hang on now.
Well, you've not got the ability to share.
Oh, that one. You knob. Oh, dear me. I
was saying it. Someone sent it to
See,
me.
actually, that there's another couple of photos that went with that, and to the left of where I was laid there on beach, that's in Barcelona. There was a woman that was sunbathing topless, and Brandon were trying to nudge Marie to make her spin that way a little bit more to take some pictures further to the left.
How long ago was that, Gaz?
How long ago was that?
10 years, isn't it?
10, 15 years maybe. 10, 12 years at least.
That's all I can say.
That's what?
Trolleys are so small in the back.
You knob. I didn't even realise that was fucking me.
I was sort of hoping that you wouldn't recognise, and I didn't want to send it because I knew that you wouldn't put it up.
Gaz, what boy band were you in? God damn, man. Yeah, that was Barcelona. That was our first abroad family holiday. Been plenty of holidays, just not abroad. That was his first one. Gaz, 20 years ago. It's not 20 years ago. Well, it might be. Might not be far off. I'd have to have a look now and see. Now you got me thinking, crap.
Thanks, you've got dark hair now.
Where did you get that from? Facebook. Hang about. Yeah, where did you get that from?
Someone sent it to me and said, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is it?" I didn't pick up that it was you.
1970s. Remember it well, guys. Fucking hell, man. Cheeky bastard.
So you don't feel left out. So you don't feel left out, Gaz. I got one that you can share. Look at that.
What's going on, man? Oh. Shit, for a minute when I thought that was me again.
No.
I just saw that.
How sweet am I?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I had brilliant.
You can take it down now, Gaz.
Sorry. I had brilliant blonde hair me when I was a kid. I mean, mum and dad have got a picture of me. That's the reason why I said, "Is that me?" I had an orange top on and green dungarees, but brilliant blonde hair. And yeah, for a second you threw me there. Where the fuck did you get that picture from?
Well, mate, I literally, honestly, it got sent. That's why I looked on my phone. And I thought, I'm fucking having him. Right, anyway, have we covered anything to do with the koi show?
No, but you are more than welcome to stick out whatever you think and fancy.
Well, no, I haven't prepared anything. I think last Thursday was the lead up to the koi show. It was at the weekend, right? So, what a fucking fish that won it. What a fish.
Beautiful.
Insane quality, man. Yeah.
Did
Can't knock it.
Was I right in, or am I right in believing that fish has won twice before?
Say again.
Am I right in believing that fish has won twice before? No. Oh.
No, I don't believe so. The owner has won back to back.
Ah, right. That might be it. Yeah. That might be it.
So the Chinese guy won last year and won again this year. From what I've read, he's that guy. But I did pick up some. I'm just going to find the picture now.
He's really got me thinking now where the fuck you got that photo from.
You know me, mate. Man of many talents. Oh, but it's on my computer at home.
Which you wanting?
It was a progressive video of the koi over the years. It's
that'd have been nice to
on
see.
the computer at home, mate. It's not on my phone. And I was looking at everything on the Mac, so yeah, I haven't got it with me, I don't think. Let me see if it's on this Mac though, because I'll share my drive, so bear with me.
I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see Olive from On the Buses in the background. I bet I bet Crafty's early photographs.
I've seen it.
With that scary clown, the hamburger.
Oh, I have got it here. Bear with, guys. I'll send it over.
Oh, nice.
The power of the Mac. I can get onto me Mac at home. There, drop it.
Is it cool? Is it coming?
Yeah, I just sent it to my phone first, mate.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, nice. There we go. Now then, Matt, talk us through these. Look at that. 2021. Shit, man. Look at the difference in the body structure of that fish.
But doesn't it look better, the latest picture?
Yeah, but if you look, you've got to look at the differences in it now.
Yeah,
I'm not I'm on about how it presents its pattern. So I quite often go out about framing when you start to see the development of the Sumi, right? One back in 21, right? You can see a lot more of the depth in the colour in the centre scale. When you look at it, a little bit of fucrin start to appear, and then the layers of the benny over the fish as it ages, right? The last picture is a lot more consistent all the way through the fish itself. Right? On top of that, as that body started to really open out and widen up as the mass starts to produce, look how much more of the Shiroji starts to play into the picture. So, for example, the split that goes up to the side of the dorsal, right? This part.
That's opened up more.
Right, and then the bit behind it, and then the bit behind that as well. And
yeah,
again,
look how it has changed from that to
very heavy patterned benny plate. So it's not the conventional 3-step or 2-step. Heavy up front, benny, right, and a small patch in the back.
Well, I was just going to say that
over here when it's a smaller fish, because it hasn't got the conventional 2 or 3 step that everyone strives to achieve, or purchase.
What were its final size on in this one when it won?
I think it was 96. Alan Tate will be able to put me right. So I've been
He's some decent size on
mid to late 90s.
Yeah, it's to put some decent size on them from 2025 to 2026, hasn't it? I'm stacked out and filled out there. Something rotten.
Just how much different it looks with the mass in it is just next to it insane. And the way the fins start to really solidify as well. So whiten up, skin in the head, the nose rounds off.
Yeah, when you look at it through 21 to 22 to 23 and 24, its pecs look quite translucent, don't they?
Yeah.
Still that opaque tips to them. But when you look here from 2025 to 2026, they really have become a lot more vibrant, bright white, haven't they?
There's a lot of change here.
Look at that there on this part here, on that split where you were talking about, to right back here.
And again, the Shiroji down the actual left-hand flank of the fish behind the beck fingers, you can see how that's starting to come in more and more as well.
Yeah.
Do you not think on the very first photo that lots of people would not buy it though because they would be going too heavy on the belly on the front end?
Absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier, Matt.
It's
heavy benny pattern.
Yeah, that's a big fish pattern that you hear said so many times. Although it doesn't look out of place and it doesn't look wrong, it's a good pattern. It looks even better with more
people would
bulk.
overlook it, guys. People
Outside.
would definitely overlook that fish
Yeah.
in 2021 because it hasn't got the break between the first and the second dam. People would say, "Oh, I prefer it if that section was shirogi, i.e., on the dorsal fin on the right-hand side, guys." People would say, "Oh, you know, I'll forget that," and I totally throw everything else out the window just because of that one. What is a nice to have rather than focusing on all the other good points. But it's just proof there that that fish has changed massively over 5 years.
And it ain't got that podgy, it ain't got those chubby cheeks, though, has it, when it's gone to that size?
Not all fish get
So,
it.
you know how some of them have that, like they've got a pair of dumplings inside of the mouth and then the lips.
But one thing you can see, mate, it's got in the first photo, it's got height, it's got good body composition, right? The eyes are really well aligned. It's got a big mouth, a nice big head, a fat peduncle, but not short.
Look at the when you said there, its eyes. Look at its eyes here. The eyes here, they are literally like on stalks, aren't they? Quite bulbous to the head.
Right.
But when you look at them here now on this, look at the mass it's got on its head.
So you start thinking of how the
That's some serious skull development, that, isn't it?
Exactly. Young fish like babies, mate. The skull don't properly form immediately. They actually take shape as the fish gets older. Skull development is a huge topic to study because you get so many different sorts of skull within a fish, undesirable and extremely desirable. And there's certain traits in young fish that you have to look for that. One of the easiest ones is seeing the chubby cheeks. The chubby cheeks in young fish, if they hold a certain structure, you can see that at 2 years old starting to form.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you imagine how impressive that would be at 95 cm swimming around?
Let me get the size of it because I'm sure it.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was around 90 odd. But that is one impressive. Let me see. I've missed a. How many cm is that last pick? 98. Yeah, 98. So 2 cm shy of a meter, man.
And the Sankey that was in runner-up, I think it was runner-up, was 103.
Wow. See what I mean, though, when I was saying, please don't shoot me all when you watch this or you hear this, but look at that stature-wise. Would you say that we see fish of that grand stature like that in the UK koi scene?
No,
With that amount of mass to them.
fine, mate. Look at the Sankey that took the honours at the Great British Koi Show, mate. That was as good. All right, weren't as good, but over here, mate, it was sweet fish.
Oh yeah. I'm just. That's why when I went over there and saw the big stuff over there, that's why I was wowed by it because it just seemed like they've got that extra 20 pounds on them more than what you'd have on our fish in that same sort of size category, lengthwise. But that is one hell of a fish, man.
But also, you've got to remember, mate, that them fish are being reared by the Japanese, right? With none other than the experts, like the true experts in selecting them fish out. What's the value of that fish, mate? It's fucking humongous, mate.
Yeah. Well over $1 million, apparently, from rumour, it says.
Yeah, I know, but see, they always say that every year. It's $1 million fish, but it weren't bought for $1 million in 2021, mate, was it?
Can you imagine transporting that? That would give you a headache, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
You wouldn't want to, would you?
Mate, it wouldn't be one of those, mate. But
2022.
I think I sent you guys has got a video with it.
Oh, right. Let's.
That's my fish, mate. That one.
Get that. That's got some nice shape and size to it as well, mate. Again, big fish pattern, but you can see where that's going to do and what it could do, couldn't you? Now looking at something like that.
One. Look at the similarity in the pattern against the GC this year.
Yeah. Girls, I'd put it in the helicopter. If you want it shipped, if anybody needs a big fish like that moving, Mark Oxo's your man. He'll put it in his helicopter for you and make sure that it has as minimal stress as possible. Yeah,
that's the Yamaguchi one.
Similar, isn't it?
I've sent you a link to Facebook, mate, on Facebook Messenger. Have you not got it? It said sent.
Yes.
That's not the GC there, obviously.
I'll put that down one sec then. Yeah, that's not the GC. There's the link. Sweet. I didn't want to make sure I was making sure I won't share another picture of me on the beach somewhere else.
No, I'd share that on my own screen, mate.
Oh, can we make that bigger? Yes. See, now when you see them swimming around like that, when you're over there, it's the first time I will agree with the camera doesn't do them justice.
Well, it doesn't.
When you see them with your eyes and you're watching a Labrador-sized fish swim around in a vat. That's immense, isn't it?
Just fucking stunning, mate. There's not a mark on it, is there?
And it takes some doing though, and all, doesn't it, to get a fish to that size to be perfect looking like that, and the quality of it all over to be absolutely mint like that. It's not an easy task, is it?
Well,
You imagine the love that fish has been given over the last few years.
But it's more than that, isn't it? You think about it, right? That's come out of a spawn, right? And out of many different spawns has that fish been selected to be grown into a show contender for the best prize in the world. What is the percentage over everything that's been pushed into that to be able to make that type?
That's saying of 1 in a million. Well, that's an understatement, isn't it?
I can't shut that down now. It's stuck.
It's just insane.
Yeah, there we go. Wait. Sorry, I'll bring that back up. I got it stuck. Don't get it to go back down to being small again. That's one stunning fish, man.
So, mate, I watched somebody do a presentation on YouTube when these were being judged. And I don't know why that person did not say that was easily the best fish, because for me, from the ones I've seen that when it was being delivered, and I didn't know what it were, but to myself, I was like, fuck me, that looks superb. And then when I seen it proper, I was like, Jesus Christ. Where the fuck do they hide them? That's what I want to know. You never see them.
Are you ever going to go? Or
What,
do you? Yeah. Do you want to go?
Point, mate. If I'm honest with you guys, it's like I like to see the top end. I'm going to be controversial, mate, because I always fucking am, I? But so the All Japan Koi show to me is, unless you're competing in the big leagues, like that to me is real koi. That is like dream, and a massive dream, and something that is well out the reach of literally most people in the world because of how much they cost, right? So to me, that is stunning on every level. When you go down to the smaller levels, I personally don't really buy into the fact that you don't own, you only own a fish. I like to see people pick a fish, develop it, grow it, condition it, and show it, because for me, that is what the hobby's all about, is doing it yourself. I'm not saying that it's the wrong thing.
No. I get where you're coming from. That in itself.
My interest is better in this country. You know, I like to see what people can achieve themselves in this country. And if I'm honest, not even the GCs over here do it for me per se. I think the Sankey from this year was fucking superb, right? But I like to see where the main head of the competition at, besides threes and your fours, because so many people compete in that. And again, it don't have to be big money, right? But it's so good to see people develop into the hobby. I like to see that progress. That's where I get my fun from. And not only that, but I like to see if I can pick out of them. At the All Japan Koi Show, it's so fucking big. From, you know, don't get me wrong, I've never been, right, but I have a good understanding of how it's run. I understand how they're judged and how they're awarded. And if people want to pay big money, they're in the title race for a big prize. All right, you better your chances. So I looked at Narita's prizes, 65 odd prizes that he won. Right, when I actually went through all of them majors, there was 10 winners out of 65 fish. Right, and the majority of those winners went to 3 people. Right, so to me, it sort of makes a bit of a mockery. Now, I know one person, I'm not going to say names, but one of those persons, he had over 600 fish in entry.
Yeah.
Right, so, you know, and I
You're hedging your bets, aren't you, when you're entering 600 fish?
It just makes a bit of a mockery for it, although be it, the competition makes it a bit of a mockery for me. And when you look at the thirds, the seconds and whatnot, there's a hell of a lot of thirds and seconds in the same classes, same varieties, right? It's not like over here where if you get best in, like first in size and class, second in, there's only one award for that. In Japan, you've got 15 or 20, depending on how many entries there are. So is it really first in size and class? No, because you've got another 20 people that have won the same fucking award. Right? So for me, he doesn't do it like that. Although I appreciate that it's the biggest show in the world with regards to competition, I also see videos that they're not all the best fucking fish in the world as well. Right? There's stuff there with carp pops, with twisted tails, with fucking lips.
Yeah, I've got to admit, when I was there last year, there was one fish that literally looked like it had been slapped on the head with a shovel, because it just seemed to drop away real quick.
You know, but to take away awards, it's always nice to come somewhere. Don't get me wrong. And if there's 2,000 fish in the running, or 2,500 fish in the running, and you get an award, it's still an achievement. I just think it null and voids it a little bit because so many other people.
I get what you mean. Like the 2,500 fish, and you're only up against 1,900 of them. Because 600 of them are yours. You kind of really are edging your bets there, right?
And, you know, and I think for me that's what takes away. You know, not only have you not raised it, right? You've brought it and potentially paid good money for it, but not even seen it in the actual flesh a lot of the time. It's been handled by a breeder or a
this
dealer.
Is what Matt were on about earlier on.
Right, and to me, right, you know, it's just like owning a racehorse and saying I won the fucking Cheltenham Gold Cup. No, you never. You give someone to ride that horse for you, right?
But that's the difference being, though. That's how the hobby is, isn't it? There are people that, like Matt said, that have got fish all around the world that don't have those fish in their own pond, in their own garden.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the koi hobby. So again, I'm being
It's so
controversial
bad.
because I'm not going with the noise because I've got my own beliefs and my own opinion, right? And I'm not jumping on the bandwagon that everybody else does, right? That don't make me a bad character or a bad person. That means that I'm my own person and I've got my own opinion, all right? And other people share that opinion, but too many people are scared to be ridiculed by mentioning it, all right? Not me. I don't care, all right? But what makes it beautiful is that the hobby is so huge that you can make it what you want. If you're like Mr. Donald Kerr, all right, that doesn't have like the amount of fish he buys, he doesn't bring them all home, all right. He likes to go select really nice fish, spend good money, and why does he earns it? He can spend it how he wants, and if he wants to compete on the big stage with sort of fucking amazing fish, and let's face it, they are, all right. Then if he gets a kickback on that, then who am I? I'm not judging him. I'm just having an opinion on how I see it. I'm not judging anybody.
No, that's where, like, particularly, I think, like the National last year, there was a lot of fish there that had been reared or grown on by the hobbyists. And that's what makes it. And I think even better when you see fish that were there last year returning this year to compete in the next size up.
Mm-hmm.
And you take an award twice over, 2 years on the trot, when you've looked after that fish, when you nurtured that fish, you know.
And you've got, let's say, if you've gone from one size class to the next size class with it, that's even more of an achievement, isn't it?
Exactly.
Especially if you've managed to turn that around in UK temperatures, ponds, and doing it with your own input.
Look at.
But it's same to be said, though, to be on the opposite side of it, though, same to be said, it's still one hell of an achievement to take a fish from 85 cm at 5 years old to then get it to 95 cm at 6 years old and to look that good. That's no easy task, even for a breeder. I mean, it's got to be in the right conditions, the right environment, all that. That ain't no fish that's going out there in no mud pond, is it? That ain't getting out there and saying, let's see how you do. Wait for Mr. Bear to come and chew half your head off. That's something that's been hand raised, literally everything worked out.
Not the whole way though, Gaz.
Oh no, yeah, no, it won't be. Yeah, it will have been out there. It'll have done whatever it needed to do in a mud pond first, and all the rest of it.
It's got to go through the motions, and then a lot of these fish aren't even selected to even start to be contenders until they're 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah,
right. Because a lot can happen between there and there. They're in their Tattagoi stock without a shadow of doubt, and Tattagoi being meaning fish for the future, all right?
Yeah.
Not this is a brand, right? So that's their meaning. So definitely go around there. Of course, they put them out in the mud ponds because that's how they get their fucking size so quick.
Yeah.
Right? And
but they wouldn't risk it with the value of a fish like that towards the end, though, would they? Or would they?
Look at NND, mate. Right? When you go down, when you look at their champion mud pond, Gaz, they're a fish of that size and quality.
Shit, man.
Right? Because there's no safer place than in.
I thought that would have been indoor rearing type of thing, when intensive rearing with that type of thing.
I heard people saying this on Sunday, and I just thought to myself, it's like, hang on a minute, how much do you actually know? Because actually, that fish could have been hand reared all the way through, right? Yeah. But from what I see, you don't see many fish like that knocking around, like inside the fish houses at all. You do over winter when they bring them all in. Look at Marahiro's pond. Right? Yeah. Big round pond. That is fucking empty.
Yeah. There's massive stuff in there. There's tons of them, isn't there?
Where do you think he goes with them? Just go and fucking plonk them in another pond somewhere else? Of course he don't. He don't go and put them in another concrete pond somewhere.
But would they risk £1 million fish in the middle of a mud pond, though? Would you not?
Think about it,
somebody at that sort of level, that's growing on fish like that and doing that kind of thing, would they not have a specific that goes into it?
Right, it's the risk, isn't it? It's risk versus reward, right? So, are you going to be able to mimic the ability for all of the goodness that goes through them mud ponds? Right. Bearing in mind you have got natural water, full of mineral, full of a natural food source, with additive food, with constant management. right,
Yeah, but
on top of it.
They didn't have that good a winter summer last year, though, did they? Look at the average growth that they got through Nissan.
Management aspect.
They were 20 cm higher than what they would have been. Would a fish of that size got again? Because when we're talking about putting on 10 cm on a fish of that size, that ain't no easy task, is it? That's a massive mammoth task to do to a fish of that size. When you're going from Torsai through to Nisai, let's face it, most people would
even that, right? So look at it on a smaller scale, right? The Japanese Nisai season wasn't the best, right? For the Azakari from Tozai through to Nisai, that growing season was not the best. They probably fell short by 10 cm on a majority of farms, right?
Average time.
Right. So at what point do you make the decision to empty your mud ponds? Well, to see if you can actually raise them a little bit bigger. Do you select out your fish, net it, bring them in? Or do you wait on the weather system? It's all about the management. And actually, have they got too many fish where they can't achieve that? Because they stage the harvest. They go, right, we're going to do this first, and then all of us hungry fuckers, mate, are out there with our grubby hands going, we'll have that one, and everyone's doing it around the world, empty their ponds, and then they fill them back up again, right? But if they was to actually bring all of their stock in, right, and they actually got the real estate to fill them ponds, to house all of them fish, I would say probably not.
No, probably not. No, probably
right,
not.
So, so many aspects of unknown that it's so wrong for people to put a brand on that this is hand raised, that's that, without actually factually knowing what they do.
I'd love to be able to turn around and scoop a load of mine and say, put 30C on them.
But for me, I would think that they go out in the mud ponds, mate, and they're looked after in the best environment for a fish of that
They've
size.
got to have some kind of for fish of that quality, though. Surely they've got to have some more beefed up security.
There's got risk involved in anything.
People walking around with AKs to shoot bears in case they come too close.
I wonder how quickly
the risk is not on the breeder. The risk is not on them, mate. Right? If someone's paying 200 grand for a fish and they want the best environment,
when you put it into the aspect of what it is, right? I'm looking at that as a £1 million fish, if it is, let's say, for example, right? So that £1 million fish that gentleman's bought, to him is the average 400 quid fish for us.
Exactly.
So they're putting it into the perspective of what it actually is. He's only taking a risk and a gamble with his £1 million as much as what I would be with my 400 quid. So yeah, I guess
you buy a fucking koi for £1 million, mate. Right? You're worth.
Well, I mean, if you can buy £1 million fish, then you've got a fair few. That's your change, not loose change, but that's no massive amount to you if you can afford to spend it on a fish, is it?
When do they actually when do they put their category back out into the mud ponds?
I don't know, but we need to find where
when they put them out. When they put them back out.
Yeah, when I just wonder
depends on the weather, believe it or not.
Well, no, that's what my point was I wonder how quickly, like here in the UK, it's probably going to be July before our ponds get up to good temperatures.
Yeah, if you're not heating and can control your temperatures, yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder how quickly over in Japan those mud ponds.
It's not even that though, mate, is it? When you look at what we do over here unheated, you get a lot more temperature fluctuations. Over there, it's a lot more stable in a higher temperature band. So it's not just that, it's how much water they get. This year they had too hot a summer, so the water levels had decreased, which meant they could put less food in, right, because the water couldn't take it as well, which is why they had smaller growth. Right now, you can mimic that in a concrete pond, but what you don't get is the skin quality and the potential of the best colour quality, and also how much mass you put on a fish.
And again, that fish has got all those aspects which would indicate probably not more so much of an indoor growth. But,
I mean, look at Stoddart. He can grow a fucking fish. There's no two ways about that, mate. In a concrete pond, he does extremely well, right? But when you're working on a scale that they do in Japan, right? Can you imagine the amount of management that takes, cleaning filters, drop in water changes. They let the natural environment do all that bit for it.
Yeah.
You know, they do a lot of the weed
Do you know
clearing.
what-
Look at they don't even clean the fucking weed out of his ponds.
No.
That's one thing that's really surprised me. Just how quickly once the pond's settled, let's say you've got your 200 fish, you put them in a pond, or 150 fish, you put them in a pond. Once that filter has found its balance, and those fish have got in on that feeder and are on that heat, the growth on them fish is crazy. But you can see different growth between certain types of koi to other types of koi. We've had some in a pond. Let's say I'm not going to say what they are, but we've had them in there and they've been in for 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it might be. But we've just put ones in that was this sort of size in comparison to these that are this sort of size, and in that 2 weeks that they've been in, they're almost catching up some of the smaller ones of the bigger ones that are in there. If you get, they're overtaking it, and it's like that's mad. How some? I mean, this one in particular one's mango karashigoi, and this mango karashigoi, mate, has literally just. I sent Kev a picture of it, video of it today, saying, "Look at that, man! That's just 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks, it's gone from this to that." And you're thinking, Jesus Christ, man! I mean, I know genetics is a part of it, but to see it in a single coloured fish, just how quickly it goes, and how quickly they do grow, and watching the others grow, and then when you're looking at some of there's some shower that's in there as well that. Although they're growing, they're not growing nowhere near like the others. It's mad to see just how quickly you can get growth on a fish. I mean, Rick would say this. What did he get? 38 cm in off. Are they pushing 40 cm? Some of that he's got now, they're only 7 month or 8 month old. That's mad, mental, crazy what you can do with them.
Mad was on the Sunday, so with a hangover, we went down into the polytunnel and we were catching up some of the fish, and Rick picked out some fish that he said, "Do not sell these, grow these on for another season." And I was like, I can't remember who that came from. And he went, that was little Miyataura. And I was like, how the hell can Rick remember that fish from a year ago when he saw it at 16 cm, is now 45 cm, and when I've gone back through the videos, it's in Miyataura. And he did that 5 or 6 times. It's like, how the hell do you do it?
That Ryan's like that though, isn't he? He's same. He can spot a fish. But to be fair though, Matt, I can now look at fish that have been there and think, when somebody says, "Have you any idea where this is?" and I can walk straight to pond and know it's there. When you've gone up and down it enough and seen them enough, eventually you do spot them. But then there's also other little bits that you think, how the hell do you remember that? I mean, what's so special about that particular one that stands out more than those other 200 Sankeys in there? You know what I mean? Sometimes
you imagine seeing a little toasai at 16 cm a year ago and seeing it grow, and then you can still pick it out a year later when you haven't seen it from one day to the next.
Yeah.
It's like a different head.
I think it's autistic, they call it, mate. Well, I don't mean it in an insulting way, but, you know, there's a level of something that photographic memory or wherever it might be, but it's something in their head that makes it stick there and makes them remember it just like that. But I've seen Rick do that, and I've heard him talk about something and do that kind of thing quite a lot, and you think, oh, God, man, that's some serious amount of remembering. I don't know how you do it, but I struggle. It's something I don't think I'll ever get that good with, but I mean, yeah. Something to aspire to, isn't it? To remember stuff like that. Look at that. There's a stressful face, Kraft.
Me? I enjoy it.
Me?
Oh, wait. Right then, question. Can you still grow with a chip in this eye?
Chip in this side.
No, it says chipper.
You can.
Yes.
You can, but you do lose. You do lose some of the potential,
That
like
it would have,
the whole potential.
could have become.
But I have definitely, personally, not in store, personally, in my own pond, managed to get a huge growth spurt over the course of a year from a chippy nissoi. Absolutely can. But can you achieve that extra 5 or 6 cm that it potentially could have got? No. So you lose the top end more than the front end, is what I'm saying. That makes sense.
So it's the last stage of what, let's say if it could, if that fish had potential to get to 75, 80, you might only hit 70 with it now.
Yeah, that's potentially where you're going to go. Yeah, but you're not getting the best out of the early stages of growth, basically.
Yeah. Koi Mum says, I'm thinking of entering one of mine, Susan. You should, Koi Mum. Just for the kicks.
Here's a question, all right? So Agata down in the south, massive place, all right? How many tozai do you think, from the amount of stock that he has, which is huge amounts, all right? How many fish do you think he actually puts in his pond to grow from tozai to nissoi?
Oh, as in like in his mud pond?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is something that I thought, when we've spoken about this in the past, I don't reckon there's much more than 30, maybe 40 max goes into a mud pond.
Well, it depends on the pond, doesn't it? It depends, you know.
Does it? I don't know. I mean, they never seem to pull out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, do they?
But if you have a look at the mud ponds in Japan, guys, they're not massively different in size.
No, they're not huge, are they?
And they're built by design. All right. So, you know, how many fish would he stock each year? Thousands and thousands, you know, over all of his koi houses, because he's a huge place, right? You're tens of thousands of fish. Bearing in mind the amount of people that go through Japan to buy stock, right? When you look at Yamaguchi, right, he has 4 mud ponds, I think it is, or 3, right? You don't put a huge amount of fish back in there out of all of his stock, right? When you look at Sakai, they can do it in a massive fashion as well. If you're only putting 3,500 fish back from tozai to nissoi out of tens of thousands of fish.
Right? But they're selecting them, they still carry on selecting them down though, don't they?
Absolutely.
They might only end up with 100 pieces or 50 pieces at the end of it.
You know, and also I've been saying because I've been digging, right? But Agata also lost 200 nissoi from too much rainfall, where the pond literally overflowed and washed away. Right, so 200 nissoi gone. Now, when you look at financially, if that was a smaller breeder, right, financially, that is so many thousands of pounds worth of koi gone. Whether or not it's resale or already sold, right? And this is where I personally don't have a guarantee against the fish that I buy as a Kari, because the risk is part of the fun, in my opinion. All right, you're paying a smaller fee for a bigger, more expensive fish at the end of it. So, in my opinion, you should take the risk, because you know you don't know what you're going to get out, but you rely on your own chance, your own eye, your own ability to see development. Okay, but if that rainfall come and washed the pond away, or there was an earthquake that emptied a pond, right, 200 fish, right, that's 200 fish that have to be replaced. So not only has the breeder picked his best stock out to go back into the sacred mud pond, because there's only a certain amount of space for it, right, but generally the Japanese will always try to re-entertain a replacement, right? So that then comes that the next one, it's either a replacement of another nissoi that they've got that is up for sale, they've now lost that sale, or a tozai to go into Azakari again, which takes up space again. So it's a whole 200 fish sales lost. Let's say those all 3 grand a piece. All right. How much fucking
soon starts mounting up. Yamaguchi had a little bit of bad luck, didn't he? Not last year, year before, when he had a lot of heron attacks, didn't he? And he lost a lot of his stock. Cormorant, that's it. Sorry,
Cormorant emptied his ponds out, mate. Yeah, you know. And again,
I mean, just somebody as a smaller Japanese breeder, that could have been completely devastating for him, couldn't it? Could have.
Well, it is, mate.
Not could have been. It will have been.
No, but it totally is. And when you look at Yoshino as well, Matt, you know, 2-man band, him and his missus, right? There's lots of small farms that do this service that is so financially dependent upon the farm survivability is so financially dependent on those purchases. It's a lot of pressure on those breeders to deliver the goods, right? And a lot of it is out of their control. You know, so
how do you think, on another bit of this, which again is probably going to end up. How do you think Japan's going to actually deal with the demand and the popularity of koi and producing more? Because it's inevitable before long they're going to have to start producing more because the demand is becoming. It's koi keeping now is becoming one of the most popular hobbies, and koi sales are increasing tenfold year after year after year.
Yeah, but you look at where the percentages of that demand lands, Gaz. All right, so I mean the Americans have been doing it years. The Chinese have been doing it years. You know, the popularity has increased because there's again the power of YouTube. All right, which starts to really push it out. And like when the American sees what the likes of Fitz is doing, of course there's someone that wants to jump on the bandwagon and become a koi business because they think there's loads of money in it. Right? Same over here. We're seeing more and more dudes sprouting.
Every man and his dog would love to have having a go at doing it.
Yeah, it's a really good thing to do, right? Right, but then
can Japan take a bigger load? Bigger demand.
I think you have to look at you have to look at the scale of the operation, right? So let's pick on a Fuji. Did you go to a Fuji? You've been to a Fuji, haven't you?
Yeah, we go. Yeah.
Did you go to a Fuji, Gaz?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. it's like a little shithole, mate. Right. Proper farm, trip over everything, right? But his fucking fish are fantastic. I love Fuji's fish. I think they're up there for me as one of the best mixer tozai that you can get in the north as a sellable fish. All different, right? Some real classic fish. Then you look at Dainichi. What about the Fuji sells out? Otsuka sells out. Dainichi never sells out.
But Dainichi's a hell of a lot bigger.
Hell of a lot bigger, right? But look at the size of the operation, right? Look at Kano, all right? Again, him on his own, running what he does, all right? What they do is they share the staff to keep their costs down, right? So where are you going to put the next amount of mud ponds? Where are you going to spawn the next amount of fish? You've then got to get the right people involved, and you know what it's like, guys. It's a massive learning curve going from a hobbyist or someone that doesn't know anything to actually keeping livestock, let alone rearing livestock.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fucking massive fuss. No, I don't think they're going to carry on getting bigger and bigger, Gaz.
Don't think they can do, can they?
Well, that's the point. You know,
not with the amount of demand.
You said a good one there. You said a good one there, Cano. Pretty smallish.
Yep. Not really. The amount of fish he produces is massive. But for him on his own, it's like, how the fuck do you do it?
But it's like every time I think of Cano, all I can picture is the Rolex watches and the gold chain.
And the GTR Skyline outside.
Yeah. But if his demand goes up, what would that mean then if he can't grow because he doesn't have the infrastructure there, that the quality and the growth will suffer because he's going to have to produce more, which is going to mean less growth, and you can only produce so many good fish from your brood stock. So he's going to have to be keeping a slightly lower percentage of quality of fish to sell. Or will somebody like Kano just be happy with what he's doing and stay like he is?
It doesn't really matter. Japan can breed more and more, but more players move in, i.e. China, who will breed just as good in time. I suppose that's what's another way.
Already started, hasn't it, that bit?
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that's definitely started. It's definitely...
You think, right, and I wish Rick was here because he would put a real good spin on this, but listening to Rick when he talks about the environment of his koi, right? Look at what happens when you haven't got the manpower looking after fry, right?
Yeah.
You get loads of fucked up little fish that are totally unsellable, right? You start doubling an operation in Japan, right? Kano, let's double the operation. That's double the amount of water, double the amount of spawn, double the amount of fish care, double the amount of sales. What do you do with the sales that don't happen? You know, what happens then, right? When you look at business, the business is
you see that what you do with the fish that... Who would have thought now that people would be going out and buying Shirimujis to bring them back and sell them?
Well,
But they are.
I know they are, but fuck that, mate. Bollocks, isn't it? It's a fucking failed kahaka, isn't it? You know, let's breed white koi, right? Platinum ogon, definitely. You can see they're bred for that. But Shirimujis, mate, I'm not fucking interested in boring white fucking fish. That's a load of bollocks, mate. Right? Koi, you're not bred to be white unless they're platinum ogon. Simple as that.
Well, they are.
Well, you've got some to sell, Gaz, right? And everyone's going, oh, fucking up. Right, look at the bodies on, he's going to be fucking. And there's people out there that will buy a white fish, right? There's nothing wrong with it. For me, right? For me,
I wasn't meaning that. But, right. Well, I'll put it to another way then. I guess this might get me in the shit again and all. But what has been the most popular koi? Call it a dragon koi, whatever. But what has been the most popular koi this year and last year?
Don't change the subject.
No, I'm not changing the subject. I'm going to say, right, it's been a very popular type, and it's been Aragoki. Those went in the bin, Matt. Those went in the bin.
Well, we've not got a fucking problem to speak.
Into the
I've
field.
got a problem with you, Mr. Stoddart, out in Japan, balls deep in snow. Right, I noticed you've already been into Kobayashi. You fucking bowl of diamonds that he fucking had in there, mate.
Morning, boys. Balls deep in here in the snow this morning. And then
what is it? 2 inches?
I was going to say, well, see, it's
I didn't even see that either.
But yeah, the Aragoki has been a very popular, and it is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I did a video of an Aragoki chag yesterday, man, and it was so dark. It was such a dark coloured fish, but when you pull that fish out of water and just had a look at it, man, the scalation on it was absolutely mint. It looked beautiful. Put it in your pond, you never see it again until it comes to the surface. You know, that kind of fish that blends in with background. But once it started to lighten up a little bit in bowl, I'm thinking, man, that's nice. And it's literally just an Aragoki fish. But those fish were literally ploughed into fields as chuckouts. They were crap. They were fish that people didn't want. People were not interested in them. But Gaz the salesman, but things change and times change and people's opinions on fish change. So they do what they need to do and they start producing more of them. And as Rick was saying, it's about altering the makeup of the water at a certain point and a certain time with a certain crossbreeding of those fish and doing what he even said it himself on a video that Vince did of a week, that they've become so popular they need to produce more of them because they sell out that fast, that quick, that people want them, that they've got to do it.
Okay, so let me throw this back at you then as a devil's advocate. All right. So if Dainichi didn't start throwing out all of these bullshit names, yellow monkey, white monkey, brown monkey, green monkey, yellow dot monkey, right? Oh, look, we've got a white monkey now, right? All he's done is maximize on what he is producing, right? That's all he's done, right? It's that, gone on the body structure, etc. And it, you can get a really decent, massive Shiramuji, right? You can get it.
You can. I've seen one in a show, being nearly a meter long, and it wasn't a mint. But it was mint because of its size and its massive, but it was still just a white fish.
But right, what qualities does it hold?
Well, it's got to do everything with the body and the scalation, hasn't it? It's got to be fucking to die for. And it's got to look absolutely mint because that's the only real thing it's got going for it. The scalation, the body, the perfect structure, the lot has got to be sweet as a nut. Because it's got, but how is that any different to a Yamabuka? Or how is that any different to a Benigoi? How is that any different to
mate, how much colour, right? How much colour pigment sits in a white koi? When you look at a Benigoi in comparison. That's my point. Benigoi has got to have a really strong coloration in the skin, right? In the scale. A Shiramuji doesn't because it's a fucking white base koi that hasn't got anything else to show for it.
You like them then?
That's why, again, I'm not saying if you like whitefish, go for it. I'm not saying that. For me, it just doesn't hold.
But a Pericina's a whitefish.
Yeah, but look at that. That's completely different.
It's same but different. It's same but different.
Metallic.
Same but different.
Metallic.
Well, the other one's matte.
It's not.
It is. It's not. Well, it's not. It's not as vibrant.
They will breed for what fish did you just say? Parachina. They will breed to produce Parachina. They will not breed to produce Shiramuji. Fact. They will not breed to produce Shiramuji.
But you get shades of white. So what's the difference with shades of yellow?
Mate, shades of white is different skin quality, isn't it?
That's what you're saying. You don't like them.
I don't think.
But my point being, though, how they change and how things bring on the white Karashigoi. See there, Karashigoi. Not, but I only said this because somebody laughed and looked at me and he said, "I never thought I'd see the day." It fucking made me laugh, and I'm thinking, hey, kind of right, but the Karashigoi not.
Right. Okay. Let me ask this then. 5 years ago, would anybody be sat here saying, "Buy a fucking Shiramuji"? I'll rest my case. No more questions. Right. So what's different now? It's being pushed by breeders in Japan. That's the only difference.
Pure brilliant white versus magnolia. Magnolia being the hint of pink. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, John. That is a
that's a good. Yeah, it is a good analogy. That is very good.
I'm just picturing next week, Crafty, seeing you buying some Shiramuji.
I promise you, I would not purposely buy a Shiramuji, mate.
I bet you do.
I bet you are fucking mate. I
won't say. I bet you will. You will. You will buy a kahaku that'll turn into a Shiramuji, and you purchase it.
Listen to what I just said. I give a prefix of purposely.
Makashis, again, another single colour.
Makashi Ogon. Are they single colour?
Yeah,
The class is a single
that's a
colour.
single colour, but I mean, I get where you're coming from. They're not really, are they? What's the other one?
When you start looking at like
Kinkabuto.
Kinkabuto, right? Kinkabuto is Japanese for, I believe it's Roman's helmet or something because of the bronzing and the shape.
Yeah, the bronzing. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Again, put a Kinkabuto next to a fucking Shiramuji. Which one are you choosing? Of equal size, body shape.
Oh,
Right? Which one are you fucking choosing?
all
Right?
day
You don't
long.
need to do it all day long because it's a better fish. Full stop. End of chat.
Somebody doesn't like Shiramojis, Matt.
I
I'm sensing you don't like a white fish. I know what you do with your Shiramojis. You turn them all into triggerfish, don't you? Poor bastards just have to work for the rest of their life, giving everybody else
Hey,
some
get
other
your money
thing.
to part of them.
Yeah.
Can't sell them.
Crafty, I'll make you eat your words.
I bet you don't.
Honest, if you've seen these them growing, man.
Yeah, they grow, they get big, they got body shapes, they're white and boring.
No, I'm going to say the ones that I'm growing aren't boring. They're not going to be boring. They already look good.
Or like Karashigoi.
I will laugh if you do buy some.
I won't buy any.
Come
will
on,
be
there's a challenge, Ryan.
Ryan, when he comes, when Crafty comes and
challenge.
says he wants a box of mix, I'm slipping him some emojis in. I'm going to say, you said you weren't buying none. You've got some. Here you are, sir. You send them back, will you? You
I
can't.
will not buy them. Tell me the difference between a white Karashigoi and a Shiramuji.
A white Karashigoi and well,
Get out of it, you.
to be fair, mate, it's very difficult. Apart from the bloodline.
What does the bloodline give you? Because you could have different
parent.
bloodlines supplying the same fish. So, what do you mean by that?
Different parent sets that produce those
Better body
mangoes and
Mangoes and Karashigoi.
white Karashigoi.
Oh, sorry, Shiramujis. Mangoes aren't Shiramujis, are they? Mango.
No, I'm saying the white ones, which are white Karashigoi. But they're not come from a Kahaku line, have they?
I don't know. It's white. Are they Shiramuji?
White. This is.
What is a Shiramuji?
It's a white fish. That's what it means. Shiramuji, white fish.
Not a failed Kahaku, does it?
It doesn't say that in the description, no.
No, it doesn't. So, Corey Prescott. So, do you think Shiro are boring? Absolutely not. Shiro, one of the best koi to try and understand. They're hard to understand.
A breeder's pressure can make any man break. There you go.
He's got a point there, though, isn't he? Because in order to get to some fish, you've got to buy others, right? And that's how breeders work out in Japan.
But at the same time, though, mate, looking at you know when you look at a Shuramuji, before it became a Shuramuji, 9 times out of 10 it was a Kaku, yeah. And you're going to say that the Shuramuji is a failed fish, so it normally looks pretty shite because most of it's already turned to shite when it lost its quality, yeah. But these are white, and these aren't shite, and they look nice, and the scalation to them looks mint. Whereas normally the others are the reverse.
And have they lost their Benny or were they born?
No. That's how they've come. That's how they were born that colour. They've not lost anything. Gas, salesman. When the Shuramuji develops a Sumi or Benny, it would be a better, well better. It's called greasing the wheels, Crafty. You watch. I'll sell them. I will sell them all.
Right. So again, right, what Alan's saying is, right, now they look great, but with the bloodlines behind them, what they look like in 2 years' time.
Who knows? I couldn't tell you. I shall find out for you from the man in Japan.
So when those shimmies start to appear,
don't be giving me none of that shit. They're not getting no environmental shimmies coming in there. They're not going to do that.
the underlining
Comes
Benny
in that
kicking up.
bloodline where you start crossing Krashi and Kahaku, etc. Right? Kahaku are prone to shimmies. Krashi are prone to shimmies. But on a white skin, a black spot. Just one.
What happens if it were a black spot dead center of its head?
Well, you know, is it a perfect
Then what would
disc?
you think?
Does it still? What does it make it then?
Then it's a shoe Rebecca. Right then, has anybody else got any topics or stuff? I think we did just get some.
You see how I always bring argument.
It's not argument.
Discussion.
It's help.
No. I say it in a good way. See how I always bring heated discussion on topics.
Would you like to pull bits out of these?
I don't assassinate, Gaz. I appreciate.
Let's appreciate these then, because Ryan sent these through. So I'll put these up.
Well, you know I'm going to say they're all shit if Ryan sent them, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to grease
Young
his ears.
champion. Donald cares. Kill that man. What do you think to that one, Mr. Tate?
Let's look at the accolades against that, right? So what is that up against to achieve young champion?
A shitload of others, nearly as good.
No, so you know one thing.
There'll be a good amount, won't there? There'll be a good amount of them.
No, but one thing that stands out, right, is that it's beat Go Sankey. And
I didn't miss it, mate. I've already put it on this channel many moons ago and shown it. It was absolutely.
We know that, mate. I'm being controversial on purpose. Just so you know. Yeah, when you look at what this fish is actually beaten, all right, on that stage, it's an accolade, isn't it, to have a Goshki take out Showa, Kahaku, Sankey of that age, because they're always the favourite. They're always going to tend to do the best in that size variety. And for this to take it, absolutely fucking insane trophy.
Mr. Donald Kerr is gonna let me have this when he's finished with it, he said.
When it's floating upside down. You can have it now, Gaz.
You can have that.
Mate, fucking look at it.
Stunning, isn't it? Oh, which way is it? Is it this way or that way? Steve Cress's Sakura Prize, 55 bow.
Yeah, and Shiro, actually, right? You're right, mate. Go Sankey and Shiro, that's one against. So, Sakura Prize, Steve. Okay. For me, not my cup of tea.
Oh, come on. Right. What's wrong with that one? Why would it not be your cup of tea?
Nothing wrong with it. Not my. Everyone's got.
You're not a Goshki fan,
mate. No, I am a Goshki fan. This one for me is too heavy in Sumi. I'm not that. That doesn't attract me. But when you look at the quality of the fish, and this is where your appreciation comes in, Benny and Sumi on fucking point. Body shape, superb. Lovely fish.
Just
not
says,
my cup of tea, but awesome fish.
Too dark for you then? You prefer it to be...
I prefer more Benny on my fish. Yeah, that I prefer more like that. In fact, I prefer my Goshki lighter. So I don't even like them too dark. I prefer a more traditional Goshki.
Oh, I've got just a two Goshki Nisai for you then, mate.
But that's stunning, isn't it? Stunning as well. And I can't believe no one bought that off of Ryan, actually.
That's mint.
You know, just to keep the Benny in that condition, without any robing coming through, right, and having a real floating Benny is so difficult to achieve. What was that in 40 boo? So again, at that size, like no blemishes, it's just fucking insanely nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. For the Benny to be as clean as that, perfect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Carl Stewart's 35 boo.
Yeah, in the making.
Oh, now that's your cup of tea.
That is well up my street. And again, when you look at the finish on it, still got a little bit more to do in certain areas potentially. But the sumi, look how jet black that sumi is. That's what we were saying about last week with the layers of growth. You know, that is finished, isn't it? Benny is fucking, the Benny plate throughout that fish is solid, very consistent through and through. Shiroji's on point, very white. Beautiful clean fins, but look at the shape of the fins. Beautiful round head. The Shiroji on the head is clean as a whistle. Yeah, fucking, yeah. I'd have that in my pond every day of the week.
I've got to say this, and now it's not that quality, obviously, but I mean, I've got to say, my wife did pick an absolute belting little Sankey. It's coming on lovely, and it looks fucking good. She's picked a nice fish. You know when you see that sumi crab, but hey,
I love Sankey. Like they're just easily.
I've got honest crafty. I've got to admit, mate. There's two. I like the traditional, more like that, but I also like ones that look a little bit more like the shit. What do they call it? The shower they do in, but they've got more white to them than what that has. I forgot the term. It'll come to me. But
you prefer less sumi.
Yes.
Right, so this is more traditional, like a heavier sumi fish. When you start looking at the
Kindai, thank you.
shower.
Well,
So
no, but I've got a Sankey that looks a small white. Is it classed as Kindai the same when it's a Sankey? Or is that just in shower?
No, shower.
You know that type of style. I've got one Sankey that's got nice
more Subo sumi, and this is an accolade to that, right? So when you look at this, there's hardly any Subo sumi, black on white, right? Hardly any. You've got your black on red, which a lot of people shy away from. Okay, but when you look at the origins of how Sankey have actually evolved over time, more traditional, they really struggle to get the sumi to separate and become more spotty. So this is a heavier sumi Sankey, right? But it's only a young fish. It's 35.
Yeah, as that body opens up with those. Yeah.
90 cm, right? If it could get to that, imagine what it would look like then. How different would it look? And that's the questions and the research that you need to give yourself. Right? So, but for me, look at this, bang in. Sumi on point, Shiroji on point, Benny on point, right? And getting all of them three colours matched, right, is the skill that is so difficult to achieve. Now, the question is, can you keep that fish in that condition for another 3 years, or will one of those aspects drop off? That's the question you ask yourself. Kugio 25 boo. Wish it took its fucking fins out at the back.
Yeah, that. Oh no, when you see him on a photo like that, it doesn't look as appealing, does it? When you look at one like that without them. I mean, they are just the shot of the picture as it is. But yeah, I agree, mate.
Right. So what's going to happen with the sumi on this fish? What stage is it at? Right, because all three elements are at the right side, right sort of state now. But is that sumi finished? No.
No, I reckon that'll recede more, smaller.
You'd hope so. I don't know the bloodlines on it and what the parents are, because some will and some won't, depending on what the bloodlines are. So when you look at the sumi on this, I would say there's a lot more tightening to come. I would hope a lot more tightening comes. But there's still a little bit more to come first. You know, my time to koi, no. That pattern doesn't do it for me. But what's it going to look like in 2 years' time? Now that one is super.
That's sweet, that one.
That's stunning, isn't it?
But
admittedly, that's a smaller fish, though. Obviously, there's
look at the body frame
between them.
look at the skin difference in the photo. It's hard to see because it's a photograph. So, you know, the light plays a big effect on how well the colours come. And Jane will have also edited the picture somewhat because the art form in the photograph is something completely different. All right. So that's superb, you know, at that level.
It missed out on Baby Champion by one.
Yeah, I seen Donald say that on a video. I think it was on Tim Waddy's video when he said that. 1 point.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't kick any of them out my pond at all.
What did it?
I know where you're coming from with the Sankey, mate. I really do prefer a Sankey now. I think I'd rather have a Sankey than a shower all day long. All day long. Especially when they get bigger as well, because you look even more great.
So you're looking fish. They've got a body conformation. They grow better than shower, right? Showers tend to start bellying out and a little bit of a stumpier sort of fish. These hold a beautiful body line and are more elegant. And if you can really go deep into how the sumi progression is, right, you're able to be patient, because that's what you need in a Sankey is patience, right? You can get yourself hell of a good fish for a good price if you pick them out young.
Yeah,
really I mean, I've done it lots of times now.
I understand the appeal of a shower, and I don't know if it's because I've not had much luck with them when I've bought them in past. I've never had much luck with shower at all. But I don't know, just something about them. I think I'd much rather look at. I mean, I get to see a lot of nice fish at work all the time, but getting to see them and then looking them at, I'm like, kind of wrong in saying it, because there's some shower there now. There's some shower there at work now that I think are absolutely mint, and the more traditional looking ones, heavy sumi ones, and they look absolute. I looked at one at customers today, and I was looking at it thinking, flipping heck, man, that is mint. That's a gorgeous shower, is that? And again, it seems like it's blossoming more as it's staying in pond, waiting to be doing this overwintering. And then there's other shower where you think, I don't know if it's they're not looking finished for a lot, you know, sometimes like that. Oops, shit, went too far. Like that. I mean, you could look at that and think, in my pond, it would look like that for years and years and years and years and years and years.
It's got a lot of development, it does, hasn't it? But my point still stands on, can you keep all of them three elements looking the same?
Well,
you took this fish out of a Japanese pond and then took it next year or this year to a koi show in the UK. There's a chance that one of them colours doesn't sit right, which would really fucking take it out the running. You know, yeah. And then
I mean, I suppose that's changing its environment of what they're to be.
It should have been here all day long, but then when you start to point out, well, look at the skin to that in comparison to that, completely, that's where this flowery thing can sometimes fall apart. You know, yeah. It's not always the case. Just because it wins there, it wins over. You've got all the elements have got to be right. They've got to be.
I suppose that criteria falls to all fish, doesn't it? Though, really, in a sense. Lee said he's posted. I've posted you two.
Have we not got an Asagi to show?
I ain't got an Asagi, mate, to show.
Not putting them Asagi.
Lee says these is what changed his mind. Oh, I mean, goddamn.
Lee Oliver.
Yeah.
What's the breeder, mate?
You can kind of see.
Yoshino.
That's nice. That is very nice, isn't it?
Go back to that other video, Taniguchi. Yeah, good fish, Taniguchi. I like his Sankey. Right, so when you see this fish here, right, and this is the bit that I'm on about. If you look in the shower, you start to see that belly line creeping into the first part of the tail tube, and you start to see that more in shower as they get bigger. Right, just below, just on that where his fingers are on the rear end of the fish. Right. Again, I'm not picking your fish apart, Lee, because that's beautiful. right? But when you start seeing that get bigger, you see that start to swell. You see that a lot in shower. You don't tend to get it as much in Sankey. And that's the sort of
What you mean that like belly drop?
Yeah, that's it. When you look at how they develop, shower are very hard to produce excellent when they get bigger than what Sankey do. Alan Tate, tell me if I'm speaking bollocks or not, mate. But you know that's my
Go on, Alan, tell him.
because you know I don't want to give too much false. I don't want to seem like I'm being criticising. Because I'm not. I'm being open and honest with how I see the development between a shower and a Sankey and why I choose a Sankey. Have you not got Paul Cunningham's?
Paul's is mint, man. Paul's is really Paul Cunningham's. That's
the picture that was put up was fucking rubbish, mate. But then when you see it on the video, yeah, fucking different gravy when you see it.
I've got it on. I have got it on group. I'm sure. Did you not post?
It is on your group, guys.
You're not posting group, didn't it?
But the picture, your first picture was shite, mate.
Yeah, that's
because it doesn't look fuck all like that.
It doesn't, does it?
No,
the video of it is absolutely mint.
The video, that picture does not do the fishing.
You posted, we want to see a video. Where was that?
Yeah, well, I've seen it on Ryan's video on YouTube, mate.
Didn't he have his mouth open on this picture?
Didn't what? Matt?
Didn't he have hasn't he got his mouth open on the picture, which made it look funny?
Just, I don't know, the angle of the picture, I think it was too angled that way rather than where it should have been.
Oh, that didn't rate well and all.
Did that do well?
Yeah, it did.
I know that they all placed, didn't they?
Oh, where were it? It must have been on. Must have been. Hang about. Oh, damn it! I thought you'd done it. It must have been on. Oh, I know what it is. Is it not on?
It's been sent a picture, I think.
Is it not on Exclusively Coys?
It's on Exclusively Coys YouTube channel, mate. Yeah.
On the YouTube one. That'll be on this.
Yeah.
He's an ugly bugger, isn't he?
Absolutely fucked, mate, isn't he? I think you've gone too far there. Too far. Because I've gone back to look at it a few times, man. Because I've had a word with Paul, and I've said if he wants to get rid of it, it needs to come to my pond, and I'll show him how to develop it further.
Oh, there it is. Wow, man. That is mint. Paul. That's going to make a mess.
Mate. I got first dibs, you're not having it.
Never mind. No, I mean, what I want to see him do. Oh, damn it. That didn't last long enough.
The one thing that I really like on this fish, and it's a bit weird, right? But behind the dorsal fin, you often get fish that don't have any scale at all. You get a little bare patch. This fish don't have it. It's got its scale right up to the rear ray of the dorsal. Fucking, yeah. That's me being weird and looking at the finer detail. But
what I liked was that this highlighted white line all the way around the dorsal. That really makes it stand out, vibrant. And again, that's not got much bending in the dorsal, has it? Which is something that normally develops.
Yeah, again,
that's mint.
On the comments on Paul's post. What is? Oh, he's probably just put a picture in. I don't know. But yeah, mate, reticulation. What is reticulation?
Scale perfect, isn't it, that as well?
Right, so you reticulate it, follow the scale on either side for the balance. When you look at the spine, the bit at the spine is the starting point for your reticulation, right? So when that is super balanced at the spine, this is my eye, right? That's the bit I'm looking for in reticulation. When the starting point for me is that scale needs to be uniform either side of that spine first, and you'll tend to find then that the other scales will follow suit as that carries on down. That's my eye. And not only that, but anybody that don't like a saggy, right, start research, because they are fucking one of the best fish to watch develop.
Yeah. Mint that, Paul. If you're watching still, mate. If you're not, well, you already know it is, don't you? Because you own it.
Gel, mate. I am gel. There, look at that. Scales look fucking insanely good, don't they?
And that is one of the more traditional, original koi, pattern-wise and stuff, innit? The Asage. Oh. As nice as it is to see your iron fish is way better looking. That is a banger.
Yeah, well done, Paul, as well, getting your first fish a boat on, mate.
Absolutely mint. Crafty, we'd like to see more of the fish in your personal pond. So would Crafty. So is that by the time he gets home.
Now, the ones I've got in a minute, Suzanne, all of my fish from last year have all been moved over to Northampton University now. And I've got a nice Dainichi fish in there at the minute.
Have you not got any in there now yet?
No, I put a load of new forest koi in to see me filter, because I've got a couple of me Yamaguchis here that's going in. I'm building a better quality pond basically because Gaz, you see better fish, your eye changes, and I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I can do that. So that's what I'm doing, and it's, not that there was anything bad in there before. It's just that
I get what you mean, mate. I would have I'd probably only have about 6 fish in my pond if I really did.
Well, that's what I'm doing now, guys.
I can't do it. I mean, I would do it, but I can't. One, I can't afford to really replace them all that quickly, and then I would love to. You're looking at me at work and you think, God damn, I wish that were mine. God damn, but the vast majority of them are already owned by somebody else anyway.
The difference now is, mate, I had like 26 fish in my pond, right? So now I'm going to scale back to probably no more than 6. So, I want to see what I can do to develop on for body mass, etc. Right? Because that's, again, I know that I can do that. I've done pretty well in a fairly heavily stocked pond. But if I really strip back the density of the stock, I want to see what I can achieve with more water space, less fish.
I'm kind of thinking same, Crafty. I'm overcrowded, and some of them are lower quality, and it'd be better to remove those lower quality ones to give the others more room that I do enjoy looking at, more room and space to grow.
Like I say, I'm lucky that I'm in a position to do that, because I've spent good money on fish in the past. That Shiro at Sori I had good money, Yellow Monkey good money, but because where I am, I can't resell my fish. See,
hello, mate.
How you doing?
I can't resell my fish, so
Konnichiwa.
Boys, I've not lost my voice. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought you've been karaoke.
I just woke up.
Yeah.
What time is it?
7 o'clock.
Oh, that's not too
Stand
bad.
up, Rye.
I thought you were going to
About
say
5 hours sleep.
No, Rye, stand up.
No, I am.
yeah. He's sat there in his pants.
What are you fucking wife on, son?
Towel, actually. I've just got out of shower.
Just a towel.
Oh, hang about. I got it. Crafty, you like a good asagi? I've got Lee. This, man, God damn, that looks well good. Let's quickly show Lee's asagi as well, because that.
Ooh. Whose asagi is this?
This
Lee
is Lee
Oliver.
Oliver. Shit, man, that's
That's
damn
mint.
nice.
Condition, that
That's
isn't
proper.
it? Good condition.
I know where that came from.
I'll tell you what, I love Lee Oliver, man. He loves his fish, doesn't he, Lee? Fucking great. As someone that's got all the pictures and that, I think it's mint.
He's going to make an horrendous decision on Marathon Goshki anytime soon, I've got a feeling.
Really. He's been reading him his addict. Is he an addict?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Lee. When you get your Benny going, mate, sat at side of that, you're going to be well happy because that's a banger as well, man. And I can't believe. Do you know what? From seeing it when we were over there at Yamaguchi's, and him going, look, it's completely orange all underneath, and you were going like, how much? How much? No, it's not for sale. It's not for sale. And then next thing you know, Lee's got it.
How's it been, Roy?
Fucking terrible with snow. It's every fucking day.
Really?
Is it bad?
I was in Kobayashi for 2.5 hours today, and it fucking snowed 3 foot in 2 hours.
Did you have the cat dozer going up and down all day again, like last year?
No, mate, we just couldn't dig away that fucking fish house. It was hilarious.
Any snowball fights this year with him?
And he just comes out, we grab the hose pipe and just says, here, I'll sort it. Fucking with a pumping pond, heated water.
Just watched it all the way. They were a fair bit of Kobayashi one time, though, weren't they?
Yeah, apart from that, it's been really slow, actually, because fucking snow's killing everything. In mountains, it's about 12 foot deep in mountains.
Wow.
Really intense. So, yeah, bring your snow boots, boys, because it's fucking bad.
No, you won't need your
Do I need
slippers.
wellies?
Absolutely.
Not hiking boots.
I don't think they fucking pass. I had one of my customers walking around in a pair
Will we
of
get
brogues
up
the
to
other day. I
Takahashi?
said, what a fucking idiot.
Will we get to Takahashi?
Will you?
Yeah.
Not without a pair of wellies, you won't. It's about
Well, I know it's like a maze round these fish houses anyway, isn't it?
the water there will be absolutely fucking horrific. I tell you now, the water. That place always floods, and it's terrible. But yeah, apart from that,
Do you not remember, mate? It's like it's got those little canals next to his fish houses. You daren't step out just in case you disappear, isn't it?
So you only packed your easies, didn't you?
I'm not. I haven't packed them this year. No, I'm rigged out with boots.
You got boots on. Yeah. That bad.
I've still got a 5-day hangover as well from All Japan. Actually, from Saturday night, I was a new man. I was absolutely fucking destroyed.
Worthwhile celebrating those 65 awards, mate. That's a good achievement. That.
Yeah, it was overwhelming, should we say? Yeah, it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saturday night it was.
Did you go to do afterwards? Then did you go to after show do?
Went to show part and then went to Central Tokyo in Shibuya in a sky bar and got absolutely where's walled. Good. I was dancing, drinking for 4 hours on dance floor, giving it large, and then crashed and burned very, very fast.
Champers and champers.
Out of bottles, actually. The guy who threw the party was ordering Dom Perignon stacks, 20 bottles. Come out. We've all glowing dark and just helping yourself 2 by 2, just taking them off. It was fucking horrific. Yeah, tequila, whiskey, everything. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, it was a good night.
What you can remember?
What? Yeah. What I can remember. I had a very expensive taxi ride home, put it that way.
No.
Oh, it's not good. It's okay. Way of celebrating though, boys. Want it to be fair? I was quite happy with that. Nice little haul.
Any videos of that round? We need proof.
I can't disclose that type of information.
All I'll say is his dad dancing's mint.
Mint. Yeah, proper.
Not as good as my rapping, though,
He
right?
can cut shapes and he's got some moves.
There was me, Izamiya, Marasaka, Kano, and Nagami all dancing on this dance floor. It was special. It was a good one.
I can see the lights of Kano doing the robot.
Izamiya did Freddie Mercury, actually. He was doing Freddie Mercury impression. He got his sleeves rolled up on his arms, a pair of glowing dark glasses with some writing going across them, strutting his stuff down dance floor was mint. I'd paid to see that again, actually. It was good. Yeah, there was a lot of bodies falling at end at night, put it that way. It was good. But no, it's good achievement, actually. I was surprised, actually. Like the same again, guys, I got awards coming through in airport, and I was like, couldn't fucking sleep on that flight. I was like...
I bet you were. No, I bet it was a bit of a shock to see that many coming through. Did you expect to get as many as you did?
Well, no, because honestly, the story behind this was funny as well. So a few Botan prizes come through. And then the Marathon Goshki that got Sakura prize come through, and I thought, oh, fuck. I started feeling a bit sick. Although it was a good prize, I was thinking, what's happened to the fucking weapon? Like,
Because
I was
it was
thinking,
competing at the same size.
Yeah, I'd got 4 Goshkis all in 40 boo. And I thought, oh, you're having a fucking laugh. I was like, no way. Waiting. And I kept thinking, job's fucked. I thought, that's one. I thought, and that's as high as it's gone. And then all of a sudden, about 20 minutes later, it come through. Boom, you've got young champion. I was like, absolutely fucking buzzing. Couldn't sleep on that flight at all. But then you still feel, like I said on my video, actually, you still feel that level of disappointment even still. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the 25 fish that didn't place, or like the baby champion that fell short, they still make you piss boil to a certain degree.
What did it lose to, that Goshki?
The Goshki didn't. Oh, which one?
The baby champion one.
Oh, no, Sankey.
Sankey won it. Sankey, sorry. What did
It
that
was
lose
another
to?
Sankey from Sakai Company, actually, but everyone said it was kind of robbed because the body on the other one was not. They're both small Nisai. But the problem was the other one had a very chibi Nisai body. It was quite front heavy, didn't quite, to me, it had the pattern appeal, but it didn't quite. But I think that the one of ours will go on later on, probably International Junior Koi Show, come into its own then, I think, obviously at junior champion size, so that should be quite interesting, really. But yeah, it was always like one of them. I was looking around. I mean, Ginran Skur Rogan that won last year, actually, that didn't do anything. I was fucking absolutely like fuming about that, because you look at other fish around you and you're saying like, yeah, you know, fair enough, that's beat that or whatever. But there was probably a good 5 to 8 fish that won awards that again should have got probably higher accolades than what they did, or you know, whatever. But I think it's only fair to say it keeps you hungry as well, rather than thinking, oh yeah, fuck, I've done all right. And you know, you're thinking that's great, because it's like I said as well. Now you've got to look at what's next. You know, what is next?
You've done well, haven't you?
I don't know, not too bad.
What about the Sakura Yoga?
Down, because you have done well out there, dude, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's compared to when you think we're looking around and when you see awards ceremony actually happening, how many dealers have won awards and what. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Benedict Campos and Herbert Fritsch now, like Herbert's took most entries this year, 300, like 300 fish he entered.
He definitely wiped up, didn't he?
But the problem is you've got Benedict now's coming into the back end of his career, Herbert's coming into the start of it. You know, we looked last year. Last year, Herbert only entered about 18 fish to All Japan, and this year's entered 300.
There you go.
So just shows you the level of investment and how the fish is put in.
You thought yours were a big step up, but you'd done with that from 18 to 300.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice this year as well, because even that, I mean, entering the amount of fish that we did, we got a mention at dinner party, which was, you know, they did like the most entries for dealers, and then most entry for, you know, for hobbyists. And that was just, even hearing your name come up on that was just like, wow, you know, you're just thinking, fucking hell, like you're up there. Yeah, it was really like honouring, to be honest. It was, because it's never like we've forced it that way and your entries are fucking mediocre. It's just happened naturally, you know, through fish we've got and customers that have supported us and everything else. I mean, yeah, it's fucking mind blowing, honestly. And like I did say that, like a few people asked me like, what's next? And I was like, for now, just next show first before next year, because fucking it's a lot of work as well. It's, you know, you've got to scale it, what fish you can find. Again, if customers are going to keep investing, you know, it's all a lot of things come into fucking play with it all, really.
More than that, though, Ryan, isn't it? Like, because not only have you got to know where your fish are, you've got to know who they belong to. Them details have got to be processed correctly, because you don't need that embarrassment of the wrong name on the wrong fish. And then it's where they go back to and getting them back, if they come back, or what stays, what doesn't stay. That's a fucking huge amount of work.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, koi shows are not in my hands, you know, and condition at fish are not in my hands or anything. It's not, you know, I've only gone off instinct to buying a fish, now they're kept, now they're treated. Not my. But don't get me wrong, I'm still, customers get disappointed, I get disappointed for them, you know. But when I see, like this year especially, I mean, Carl Stewart and Paul Cunningham coming to it first fish that entered into All Japan and took majors was fucking incredible. You know, and that really.
That's an achievement and a half, isn't it?
You know, and I say this in a polite way. When you're scaling things down at All Japan, they're not competing really. Yeah, I mean, Carl Stewart's fish was not an expensive fish at all. It was just right place, right time. You know, but like Paul, it's a lot of money, admittedly, but in the grand scheme of it, competing in Japan, it's really not. You know, and then
no, I know how much Paul paid for that, and actually, fucking make good price.
Yeah,
good price for the
fish.
No, the nice thing is, like with that, I was gutted that no one was going to buy that, and Paul was quite late to party with it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we'd mentioned it earlier on in, you know, about 6 weeks beforehand, and I said to him, I was like, this fish needs entering the customer's name because it is going to win. You know, and then when they come to entries, you know, I thought because it was supposed to be in 40 boo, and I said at 40 boo it's going to mop up like genuinely, and then when it shifted, it actually does a favour because we won 40 boo bow time with a king shower. And won 45 boo bow time with a sargi. And I mean, it did us a favour because how they'd grown and developed that fish in such a short space of time was absolutely fucking just phenomenal.
Who handled that? Maria.
Yeah.
What about the Sakuri Ogon?
Nothing. Didn't even get a place. No.
Did it look as good as last year though, Ryan?
The Benny looked a bit softer, but it had grown a lot. It was only 45 cm last year. It was in 60 boo this year, so it was like 57, 58 cm.
Class.
And it needed to be down a bit in 55 boo just to make it more competitive, probably. But it's out cookie crumbles. I mean, we've got a Terrazzo, Marathon, Ginrin, Kawaku as well that I'd have put my fucking house on winning Sakura prize at absolute minimum. You know, we was even discussing the fact that it might win Kagugio prize at one point, and it come from when we'd seen it. It'd been kept at Terrazzo, and it was fucking skinny as a rake, and I was fucking my piss were boiling. You know, and that's not good for reputation. You know, because I put my balls to cross recommending that fish. But that's why I said that it's not in my hands how a fish is being kept. Yeah. But I know for next time now, that fish will become way stronger at Wakagoi. You know, it's not every fish can win. And if you do get a fish that win, it's fucking incredible. Genuinely. You know, and that's, I mean, like the Sankey that took the Kugyo prize actually at Donald's, we bought that last year. We actually bought that for International Junior Koi Show, I think, at Wakagoi last year. And it did all right. It had a couple of firsts. It did all right. You know, it wasn't competing strong.
Was that 30? Was that 30 boo?
25.
25.
Yeah. And then, obviously, all of a sudden, the Sumi in the middle grounds developed where more Shiroji's stretched out. The Sumi's really thickened up. And I was like, fuck. You know, like, I never had it in contention. We had 3 fish up for baby champion. I shot the Sekiguchi Showa, and Miyataki Kawaku and that. And I'd have thought, being honest, looking at them, the Kawaku would have had the stronger chance. And then when that come through, I was like, fuck, I'd not seen fish. I'd never seen it for a while. And then when I saw it, I was like, yeah, you know, to me, it got... No, I mean, I'm not being biased because it's my own fish, but we got fucking robbed with that because the body line, to me, and how it presented itself was way better than the other fish. Way better.
It's always good to see his controversy in Japan. Because there is.
Yeah. You know, but Ryuki was saying this to me, though. This is the problem, and they do pull rank with politics. It's like, you know, you need to judge next year. And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, right, okay. Like, and bearing in mind, I don't judge shows because it's time as well. You know, I've got to be there an extra 2 days. But it's like with that, by judging it, it's like he was saying that one point would have become irrelevant then because I'd have put my own vote in.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, it's, yeah.
So it was literally just by its skin of its teeth.
And so it's not even if the fish is good enough, that is just politics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just where
to be fair, you would have put your vote against the fish that you thought was better, right?
Oh, mate, if there was a fish better than mine, I'd always vote for better fish. That's generally how I'd look at it when you're judging, because you can't judge.
That's how you're supposed to do it, isn't it? That's
but you can see where the politics side of it comes in when he's saying, "Oh, you know, 1 vote's everything." Because if like me and Atsushi then went to do it, that's then 2 votes. So we've got a way stronger straight away when you're breaking that monopoly. You've got breeder voting for it, me, him. You know, we start looking. You're going, well, you've already got minimum 5 votes.
Agent, dealer, breeder.
I mean, don't get me wrong, young champion for an accolade like that was fucking honestly like, when you looked at the fish and the caliber, if I could pull it up now, I'd show you, but the Kawaku, Sankey, Showa and Shiro it beat was fucking honestly like, unreal. Genuinely, like, unreal. The Kawaku was absolutely phenomenal. A Dainichi fish, it was fucking stunning. And I was like, there's a serial winner in at Sekiguchi Showa that it beat. The Sankey was stunning from Sakai, and I was like, fucking hell, this Goshki really is like, I'm going to have a very, very decorated career. Very decorated. The body on it as well is fucking stunning. But that was funny because there was Sakura Prize one. I was showing it on YouTube video. I looked at both of those fish when we bought the first one that won Young Champion. We actually looked at both fish. And obviously at the time when you're buying any fish, you go for the one that's the fucking strongest, and that was the end goal. And then the marathon one, actually, I knocked it back because it was at the time, a very, very expensive, a good 5-figure fish. It was expensive. And I thought, like, I don't need a fish that's, going to ultimately lose to that. And then it come up in auction. And I actually bought it at auction for, I think it was about an eighth at price than what I got quoted for it.
That's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, and then, you look at that and you just think, looking out. I mean, the only thing, I think in 40 Bill Goshki, it was hilarious because when I was looking at results, we'd got Young Champion, Sakura Prize, which is the top honour from that category that you can win. We'd got first prize, Goshki. We didn't win second, and we got 2/3 as well. So we got everything apart from second in 40 Bill Goshki. And there were 22 Goshkis in that category as well. Wow. So yeah, it was pretty good. That was because Goshki, I think for me, is one of the hardest varieties to crack out there. I think Shiro's a given because, let's face it, you can go to Omasako, you buy a Shiro, it's going to fucking win probably. Agata, they're breeding great Shiros, NND, Kobayashi. There's loads of places you can go to now, especially in smaller sizes, and get good fish. Goshki, however, is fucking, and this year, I said it last year, this year, Kano is number one in world by far. He's won 10 majors this year, I think, at All Japan. Minima got one,
So, let me ask you this then, Roy. What does that do to the price of his fish as a breeder?
To me, not particularly, not a lot. I think when you see how the farm's changing in sort of generations and installing new sort of technical qualities and, what he's bringing to the farm anyway. I mean, his fish this year have been on a fucking another level, which obviously, bearing in mind, fish are all subjective to price based on quality. It's not like, they're a set price and, you just ranking them up. If that fish is worth that money, listen, Young Champion was a fucking very, very, the most expensive fish I've ever sold. It was fucking, it wasn't cheap, but you can see why. That was, the qualities are fucking unreal. That's end of it, really. I think for the rest of it, I mean, yeah, it's all subjective to fish, what they're doing, how things change. Again, like Kinshowa got from Kano, the quality of it, it was, again, not a really, not a cheap fish, but again, it's all subjective, isn't it? What that fish is worth is what it's worth, and it's what worth, someone's willing to pay for it as well. Because, I mean, there's a lot of people out there at minutes willing to pay over odds for fish, so, yeah, it's not easy.
Good fun, though.
Saturday night was, yeah.
Yeah. But you're still feeling as nervous on the actual presentation?
No, I was feeling hungover to shit, actually. If you see some photos that have been released to me, I didn't look great. I looked like I got 2 piss bags under my eyes and I was not in the mood. It's fucking awful. I remember going up for the first one, they didn't know 10 prizes, and they give me it. I looked forward and I just thought, fuck, that room was spinning. I thought, fuck, how bright it is in there as well, guys, isn't it? It's fucking snow white. All these people looking, I just thought, fuck this. I can't be bothered.
Flashes and cameras going.
Yeah, and I'm looking like a fucking. It felt like a good idea at the time, though.
Well, mate, the celebration's a celebration and well worth celebrating. So,
yeah.
Hell not.
We had a little cheeky one other night in Nagaoka as well, which went down pretty well. But yeah, I regretted that deeply as well. Like when I got in at 1:30, I just got over at first one on Tuesday night, and then I went out.
Got to get this one in for Lee. He says, Ryan, is the Marathon Goshki still as cheap? Oh, sorry, still the same price we agreed before it won.
Can I just say something? Always. The price never changes. It just proves the fact of, I like this as well, like the Becco that won Boat Prize is still for sale. I like that fish.
Let me ask a question now, Ryan. Let me interrupt you. Does the prize go with the fish?
Not the Botan prize, the first prize and the trophies do. Not the end of the day, I've entered it in my name and I've paid all show cost and it's my accolade.
The trophy goes with them.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. The reason why I asked that, because we've asked that question to somebody else. Does the trophy go with the fish or do you keep the trophy? Not you.
Honestly,
never
Mark-
individual. For me,
Mark,
the
you
trophy,
bought a
that's
Tancho
what it
Goshki off me the other week, and Gaz will tell you this. It won 3 awards last year, and they all got parcelled up and sent in post. So at the
absolutely
date's there, fish, it's not mine.
Old job lot.
the only.
I mean, the Botan prize, I did it last year. We won a Botan prize with Shisui last year, and I remember putting it on Lee's auction when I went on the back end of that, and I give everything away apart from the Botan board because obviously it's my accolade. I paid all show fees myself, and at the end of the day, I
Yeah,
told
you
people.
you also want to have something to show for what you've done,
one.
what you've picked and chosen, and the rest of it, haven't you? You've entered it all. You've got to have something out of it. That's
Like
your
I've said as well, I can't keep
string to
putting,
bow.
I can't keep putting up fucking every single trophy I win because I need a fucking,
Yeah, we've
be
got
an old house for it in its sense.
those 2 spare shelves are going to get some use this year. Then
We've got a few good ones coming back. Yeah, I like the Becco as well. I told people that'll compete for Botan. And I did the exact same thing to Paul. And I like it when fish like that come to thing because that put you back in your own fish. And you're that. It's not the level of confidence, but the reassurance I give people is like, look, if it's going to compete, I can tell you strongly it's going to compete. And that's what I like about that. I mean, that Becco will have again such a decorated season, all because of the fact of the size of it. The size of it's going to keep it falls into every category, bang on, and the Becco like that size as a toe size, you're not going to find it. Genuinely won't. And that's again the nice thing. I mean, like I had a Ginrin Becco, and everyone didn't buy it because on the picture on website it's got a bright fucking yellow red. Gets to Koi Show, it's fucking snow white. Sumi's like glossy as anything. And it was funny because that actually went into. There were 5 fish that went up for Botan prize against Paul's Asagi, and that Ginrin Becco was one of them. And I was laughing because I was thinking, fucking hell, like I never thought that would have got that high. Yeah, and it shows you it does. I mean, again, that when you look at Botan prize, what it won, it beat Shinoda Ryutsori. I think it was some sort of Kinshowa from somewhere, and I was looking at Kinshowa thinking, fuck, that was, real top level stuff. So, yeah, it was good fun. A lot of fish to look round. Still didn't look round everything, by the way. Didn't get round all fats.
even more there this year than last year. 2,500 entries.
No, I think it was about just over 2,000. It was
2,000. That's more than last year, though, isn't it? When we were there.
I know, but when you scale it, though, it's like I said to somebody, that Goshki is in the top 5 fish in the fucking world. That Goshki, when you say it like that, it gives you fucking shivers because you think, fuck, like it really has gone all the way and like done it. You know what I mean? It's fucking incredible, really.
Yeah, we've seen this. Ryan buying Beccos, never. Mate, we've got a vat full of them.
That was my best one, honestly. Yeah, a fucking Becco winning a major, I was buzzing. You can imagine, can't you? I was fucking buzzing about that. But I mean, it's like now you can't rest on your laurels. You know what I mean? We've got a great set of koi show fish. I think in total we'll have up for next show now, apart from the bigger ones that are out of size, we've got about 120 fish to sort of start processing and going into next show already. And obviously, a certain amount of them will get knocked back or they won't be in size or whatever. But even still now, people are already saying to me, "Oh, can you find something for next koi show?" And I've already started looking, but it's too early at the minute. I mean, we looked last year, Craft, didn't we? We bought that fucking Garomo from Marushin when we were there, and I mean, you see fish like that, and it's like 1 in a million. But then in autumn time, it didn't look like it looked fucking terrible because it lost all its colour.
Yeah, it was a shame, mate, wasn't it?
It's fucking gutted.
That fish when that went past, we both went, "Fuck me!" It's like there it is, right? Get that up. It's like that was easy pick, wasn't it? And then look at what it turned out. This just proves, doesn't it? They've got it.
No, I mean, it done. It's like anything for next show. It's as well. Like last year, we did well at All Japan. We only got a couple of. I think we got 2 or 3 majors last year at Wakagoi, and you got to. That's the one I've got to conquer. I'll be honest with you. I don't go out to the show. I don't really put. I'm not saying I don't put much effort in, because I really fucking do. But that one's not really. It's such a difficult time of year. Again, in fish falling into sizes, either being raced from All Japan, because there's a 2-week period from All Japan where they've got to come in and get fucking conditioned back, just from coming back from show. Because bearing in mind they're in the VATs 5 days. Without any water changes or anything. It's really difficult. And, it's really fucking tough. Just even, you're talking everything under 63 boo. To get to the top, you've got to find something, again, in a really obscure size. It's got to be a small Sanzai, or it's got to be a fucking really big Nisai. And again, when you get a big Nisai, the big thing you've got in that is general conditions not exactly great for winning GC. The Benny's not probably strong enough, or Sumi's not conditioned enough, or something like that. So you've got to really aim. To me, and that's what I said, my end goal and my dream is always to buy a small Tozai, raise it, get it to Sanzai and go and whack a go one day, that'd be like, I think for me, like the ultimate fucking thing ever to pick a fish, you know, at a small size, and then it go on to do something like that. It'd be great. I mean, chances of fucking that's probably
Slim.
fucking one
Well,
to.
you know, doable, isn't it? It's been done.
It's not undone. You've got to bite it at right place, haven't you? Let's be right about it. You've got to bite it at right place, and you know,
Yeah, but there's so many variables involved in that, right? You've got, you know, it's got to be the right fish, have the ability, kept in the right care, you know, and you know, there's potentially 5 or 6 other breeders doing exactly the same thing and what it looks like on the day.
honestly, and it don't look like it. And I said this, that Sakai Sankey, you know, the one that went up for GC, the big one. I said that will be the most famous fish for not winning the All Japan. That fish. That's all it'll ever be known for, is not winning. It's come so close now 3 times, but for me, its days are done. The skin quality on its foot now, it just looks like
it wasn't as good this year, was it?
When you look at that Dainichi, it's 6-year-old, 1 meter, and it is youthful as fuck. Generally, that will. Yeah. It's not allowed to come back the year after. It'll have a year off, and it'll come back the year after, and it'll win again. That it is fucking stunning. But the others just look too aggy. They look like they've had a fucking very stressful life. They look like they've been fucking pumped full of fucking. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Kawaku that come runner up, fucking hell, the presence of it. I mean, I wouldn't like to think I'm picking the fucking thing up. Put it that way. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's honestly, that is a 3-man lift, not a 2-man lift. It's a fucking. But the Sakai Sankey, to me, it's too big behind head. It's got massive fucking shoulders behind it, and its head sinks in.
Just looks out of proportion. Its head looks too small.
Yeah, middle ground at Benny now's fucking shot to bits. It just, and I'm not assassinating it because it's fucking incredible to even get a fish that big. But when you're talking about cutting mustard at, you know, to get to GC.
But 2 years ago, Gaz Ryan, that all 3 colours were well on point.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the difference in the quality that you probably. It's 103 cm now, isn't it?
Mate, it's incredible fish. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was shitting myself all weekend for thinking we're going to jump out. We're fucking mad if that. If that jumps out, mate, no one's picking that fucker up. Yeah. It was like this outside at that all fucking weekend. It was like, I was thinking, yeah. No, I'm fucking staying away from that. But, you know, like, to me, it's like when you see stuff like that, it really, when you cut it mustard, I mean, that Dainichi to me was, take the politics aside, because there was the politics that you've got Narita's side voting for him, you've got Dainichi's side voting for him, but that Kawaku was fucking insane. The best fish I think I've seen so far in my life. Incredible. The Benny on it, the youthful.
Next year.
Hey?
What breeder will take it next year?
Do you know what? I don't know, because the problem is there's no fish in circulation at the minute that anyone's deeming grand champion. But what's funny is no one saw that Dainichi Kawaku coming. There was always saying to people, it's a shower. And yeah, they took the shower and it didn't win fuck all. And it was this Kawaku just coming from nowhere. Boom. Have that. Fucking just
outstanding. From what I've seen on the videos, fucking a weapon and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always got to think, to me now, Momotero's not in contention because the big Momotero fish there, again, I've always got massive issues with Momotero fish either raised there, and I don't think, looking at the fish, I think they're out of contention now for foreseeable. Unless a Momotero fish actually went to Narita's and was raised in a different proportion, I don't think, for me, Momotero would be up there. I think fucking Sakai and Dainichi now run show for next fucking 10, 12 years. Probably more.
I reckon Sakai next year, followed by Narita.
If Sakai's got something, if Sakai's got something of that standard, then 100%. You know, you can never take him out of contention. I think Sankey will probably win next year out of anything. I think it's about time when you start looking around and what we've had the last few years. But yeah, I don't know. Like that big Kawaku to me. I mean, Herbert had bought that this year off the Russian that owned it. And don't get me wrong, he paid a lot of money for it, thinking obviously we're going to win GC, which obviously it come runner up, which is still a fucking great accolade. Don't get me wrong. But I thought I can't see Benny improvement in that. The Benny looks like it's starting to wash out. You can see it's had a fucking inch of its life, you know, fucking spent on it. Every detail of it being cut, refined, fucking pushed. You know, yeah, the body on it's colossal. I mean, if you went and just body alone, it would have won. But that Dainichi, I reckon that'll be the fucking biggest GC as well you'll probably ever see. The body line, it's still got so much to give as well. Absolutely incredible.
You can see that in their spine, actually, mate. It's still there.
And you look at And you look at all other fish; they're all 2-3 years older than that Dainichi as well. And you're thinking, fucking hell, like 6 year
What was
old.
it? 98, Gaz, wasn't it?
GC was a
98
meter.
again?
Yeah.
It's been reported back at 98 here.
It was a meter. They actually said it would. They actually thought it was bigger, and I was like, but even still, and you see development at Dainichi, they put development up in office. At Sanzai, it was only like 70.
Yeah, but I put the photo up earlier.
Yeah, we were looking at it from
Fucking nuts.
2017 through.
That growth that's had, that'll be honestly, that will surpass.
Even from last year to this year, to go up another 10 bull plus. That's the mass that it's got on it on that fish. Is immense.
But tenbu and quality, you could see
exactly. The quality is come shining through.
Oh, amazing! Honestly, fucking the fish is absolutely, when I say incredible, he just the body line of it. You can just they'll throw food at that, and it'll never get this big fat bowed out belly. It'll just be fucking in proportions to David's
like
life.
A perfect torpedo, isn't it?
Oh, mate, fucking. You know when you walk up to that centre vat, and you have a quick snack in, and you think, fucking hell. I was just like, wow.
Just the powerhouse.
It made just everything. You just look at it and just think, shit the bed. You know, then you take the Benny into it, Shiroji. You know, Shiroji again and Benny at them sort of sizes. That is proper thick fucking Benny on it as well. Like that'll definitely win GC again. 100%.
That scale's size of 50 pence pieces, isn't it? If not bigger.
Fucking mate, honestly.
When you get wow factored by just the presence of it, and then you start to study it, and then you really appreciate it. It's like, I can imagine it was one of them sort of, fuck me.
It was like Adult Champion as well. I mean, Adult Champion was, again, so it just shows you this. Again, Adult Champion was actually GCA at the International Junior Koi Show last year. Dainichi Showa. So again, just shows you it's gone from 36 boo in April, it's now 55 boo, and it's won Adult Champion. You know, because again, development and body. So you think just even how quick that's gone from there to there in like 7 months is fucking incredible, really. Because, you know, it's grown like 20 cm nearly, and it's got packed body on, it's got condition. Again, for a show where it's had development, I was like, fucking hell, that's proper. But that was all at Narita's. Concrete pond raising, fucking just complete and at another level. You know, if that had gone into a mud pond, it'd probably fucking ruined it, you know. But it just... Same thing, you just look and just think it just shows you them fish when you get the right one can have a very, very decorated career, you know. And again, it'll probably go into 58 boo at Wakago, probably do something good there as well. You know, it does show you, you know, these fish are, it's all about timing as well. They've got to have right time and look on the side a little bit as well.
We were saying for the GC that did, do you reckon that would have been grown on for its last 12 months indoors or outdoors?
Nah, Dainichi big fish is indoors. Everything's indoors. Hey?
What about Sakai?
Indoors as well. All big fish are indoors. Thing is with big fish, especially when you're putting into mud pond, there's a whole lot of fucking risk element. And again, you've got to have a very, very fucking deep mud pond to fucking deal with them.
There's a big fish in it for a...
Well, it's not that. You think about even risk of getting them out and everything. Like, it's a fucking major, major problem. I mean, don't get me wrong, big fish do go to mud ponds. But at the same time, you look and you think they can control that environment in feeding. They can physically control that environment. And big thing that big fish need is fucking body. You know, I mean, you think about if you were asking Sakai how they were feeding them fishes in that pond, fucking, I bet they were on, if you was working out like a body weight ratio to feed, I bet they was on probably fucking 600 to 800 grams a day each, them big fish. It'd have been fucking colossal.
I would say they'd be wanging those paste balls that they're making, the size of golf balls, man.
It'd have been colossal. And that's just to maintain body, not even to fucking grow. That's just to maintain body. You know, so bearing in mind, you're looking at a fish like that and how they're feeding them and how they're raising them. I mean, you look at Sakai, all about length at pond. They've got length, they've got flow rate, they've got good water. You know, again, volatile environment like a mud pond's no good if they want to win GC. They can't do it. Then bearing in mind, taking that fish out in October, then or like they do with big fish, probably late into November, to get conditioned for All Japan, you'd never get it. It wouldn't happen in time. You know, I mean, fair play to them. How they raise these fucking things is incredible, because you just think, wow. You know, when you see them, you know, that's what I said always about the disappointment when you see GCs in England. They don't look like they do in Japan. And I know that's hard to say.
That's what I was trying to say. Without being, we're not trying to be offensive.
No, because it's all
to
about the
anybody.
feeding and knowledge
The
about
mass that
understanding.
they've got on them over there just seems so much different to
A lot of people just don't understand how to feed a big fish back here. You know, and again, a lot of cost relation comes into it and everything. Because I appreciate food over here is not fucking cheap. You know, and they've got a lot about it, environment and everything. But when you see the fact of, again,
24-hour round-the-clock care,
Yeah.
and you know, also selecting that 0.5% to be able to be kept there, you're not going to get that sort of fish necessarily back in the UK. So you've got to do.
It's intensive rearing, isn't it? That when you start getting to mass that size.
But you always have a think though as well. Our fish, when it has big body, the presence it has, even not forget size. Yeah, it could be an 85 centimeter fish, but if it's stacked, looks like a meter fish because you go, fucking hell.
Yeah. Bonichi's back ponds are like that, aren't they? When you look, you go, fuck me, that's massive. It's like, nah,
but if you've got a fish at like 90, 95 and it's as skinny as a fucking rake, it just don't look impressive at all. You just go, oh, fucking, yeah, like it's got massive fucking fins on it, you know, long spaded head with a fucking skinny eel body behind it. It just don't look right, does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the same thing though. A lot of hobbyists think, oh, I'm feeding a kilo a day. Well, yeah, that is a lot of food again, you know, in cost relation, it's a lot of food. But when a fish is, you know, a single big fish is talk about being maintained at such an heavy rate, you just show you're not getting anywhere fucking close. You know, and that's all again understanding and developing as an hobbyist and understanding a lot more. And this is where people are so resistant in England because they fucking know it all already, or you know, fucking a certain fucking person they look up to that's out in Japan, or you know, whatever fucking speaks the language of love out his arse, and they think that's all the only thing that he understands is fucking good for him. But it's not the fact, is it?
Out of his arse.
It's true though, isn't it? Because a lot of hobbyists still prey to one person out here. They do, and that's just the same thing. And I'm not taking away anything again what anyone else does, but understanding from the fucking elite people out here and taking that time at Dainichi or Sakai or somewhere to understand when you're into big fish, people would take away so much from it, and that's the importance about coming out to Japan as a dealer, hobbyists, fucking spectator, whatever, to understand the hobby and progress. You know, like I tell people, I learn something new every time I fucking come out here, and I come out here an awful lot because there's always something that I'll rear my head into and go, fuck, I need to get into that, or what is it that's not making, you know, that fish win in that category, or what do I need to change to win them sort of awards? And it might even be like, again, understanding that variety is just not, you know, cutting mustard like I know in Botan. Now with Botan, I've known for a while, but if you ain't got like an Asagi, Becco, Kinshota, or Iyotsori, you're pretty much missing the wind. You know, you will get your chances a lot higher. And that's when I saw that Asagi in autumn. I was like, fuck, I'm having that. But I knew I couldn't keep that fish at Otsuka and that win. So I had to lean on Narita to take that fish in and raise it for me. I had to. Otherwise, it would have never got to where it was. It would have been a skinny little fucking fish that looked like the picture.
Yeah,
it's still a good fish, but it would have never won that top.
Never achieved that body mass and that shape.
You see what it's like in Otsuka with his larger pieces, right? They sit still in the ponds.
Yeah. You know, them fish are still there now, fucking freezing cold. You know, they're not doing anything. And that's why I said it, Narita, it goes into a concrete pond, right environment, eaten food, good quality food, right feeding regime.
Even to as much as all the ratios of what they're feeding, it brought down outside a machine, hasn't it, on feeders.
But this is all the same thing again, like a relationship thing that comes out here. I've got the relationship now with Narita where I can fucking make that call to him and say, look, can you take this fish in for me and look after it? He always wants to see fish first, and if it's good enough, it's allowed to go. It's not, he doesn't take anything in. If it's good enough, it can go. And he went 100%, like, yeah, done. You know, it fucking goes down there. It's been raised properly.
Did he not kick off a bit that he didn't get it first?
Do you know what? He's actually, I think he's like, this year's been different because, I mean, he was asking me a lot in autumn as well if I can find fish for him because it was so fucking brutal in autumn. Like, I can't describe to anybody how brutal that trip was mentally, physically, trying to find the fish, especially when you're in that thing where you need them fish to show, you know, for koi shows. It puts way more added pressure on. You know, you're not buying tatigoi level fish. You're not buying just fish for your shop. This is buying fish that are going to compete at All Japan. It was fucking pressurizing. I felt it a lot, a fucking awful lot. And he was saying, he was like, I can't, you know, he was like 3 weeks in, he was like, fuck, you know, by the end of the season, we're going to be absolutely bollocksed. And sure enough, yeah, we was. You know, because it's just, you're constantly on. And it's like, if I get somewhere first before him, there's nothing you can do about that. If I bite it, that's my own problem. You know?
Fucking right.
But then the same thing is, he wants the accolade. So he's now decided, well, if I can't fucking beat him, almost
Then
like
I
work
look
together.
after them, you're still
Yeah,
getting the fucking name
You know,
for
I've had 3 or 4 fish this year go down there. Don't get me wrong, but again, it all like he wanted more fish of mine, but he said to me, I can't take him in because again, he'd not bought anything from that farm, and then it was like anything, I can't quarantine him, and I can't quarantine the fish on its own. So he's like, I can't take it for them reasons. I was like, fucking hell. So again, it just shows you his regime and how he cares and looks after fish. It can't go, you know. But then it was like, fucking hell, like when you see that Asagi, and again, the Azakari fees, listen, ain't fucking cheap. For one season, there, 750 quid for one season. You know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money. But when you see that elite level raising now, what he's already give that Asagi in what that got, well, that they get couriered there basically. If they don't go on his lorry, they get couriered there like we do for the X. So they put them in, they'll pack that fish up, sent it to Naritas, he'll have fucking brought it in, quarantined it, and started raising it.
If the X are cool, come and get this fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and it looks like anything, but then that goes down there.
And he's got 25 gazzers running around with buckets full of food, wanging at him every 2 minutes. Have some extra of that.
And he's but like that is just what he's done with that fish in 2 months is honestly impeccable. Like, I'm not blowing smoke up the guy's arse, but fuck me, that was
Well, that's why I shouted out I want to see a video, because that picture was like
Picture's good, but that video is
the picture was
incredible.
they're worlds apart, aren't they? From the
video gave it was like worlds apart from the
Yeah,
picture.
definitely
That was
was.
on the title. Worlds apart. That fucking
Absolutely
fish was
missed that.
stunning in like that.
That's probably one of the nicest Asagas I've ever seen. Stunning.
I
Scale
think apart from I had an Agata one last year that did really well, and again like this year it went back, and I thought, being honest, it had a really good chance at winning. It didn't place anything, like nothing at all. And you're looking at fish thinking, what the fuck is wrong with that? Like I was looking at it thinking, please tell me where I'm going wrong here, and it was fucking it's brutal. When you go and see what beat it, and you get there, just get back in my fucking tin a minute because I've been fucking royally kicked in it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, there's nothing you can do. Genuinely, there's nothing you can do.
you can go away and learn from it and come back again, and what you've done.
But then next year, it could have a good season again. It like growing on at Agata, it could do really fucking well. Come back next year and win. You know, it just people get too disheartened in England when they find out the fish aren't either gone or it's not took anything or whatever. You know, genuinely, when I say I'm not even pulling piss to get even be entered to All Japan, especially this year, it's been a real fucking accolade, honestly, just to even get there in one perspective. But then you do see again the same problems what we have in England. Fish conditioning and how fish behave and everything all weekend is down to the keeping and raising, conditioning. There were fish there with fucking sludge in them, you know, and I was thinking, fuck me, you should be fucking turfed out of here because it's All Japan Koi Show, you dirty fucker.
Yeah.
You know? No, it's true.
Really?
I'm being
I
fucking
was saying
serious.
this earlier, Ryan. It's like, you know, it's not all the bells and whistles. You know, it's everything, isn't it? It's not all the fucking. You see all the top end, but you never see any of the.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, you're probably from somebody like me that went over there with the some sort of blinkers on. You're not looking for that because you're wowed by all the rest of it.
Of course,
to an extent,
it's going to be there, isn't it? You know.
But I was lucky then when I saw one vat. But I saw one vat and I thought, fuck me, that looks atrocious. Fish condition, honestly, water condition, everything. No, honestly, they've got these fucking like these tablets in the bottom of the pond to obviously try and help the fucking water out. And I thought, all right, must be a one-off. So I thought, I'm going to go and find another vat of theirs to find out the dirty bastard was literally doing the same everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, well, no, sorry, that's not fucking good enough. Like, you know what I mean? That to me,
present there like that.
you go to Sakai, Dainichi, Narita vats, and you look at me and you think, fucking hot water for 5 days was absolutely immaculate.
yeah,
Every
Smaller
fucking day.
breeder.
Hey?
Smaller breeder.
Yeah, so don't know a smaller breeder, but it just shows you that, to me, you go into All Japan, it's like us going to National. If you're not going to put your effort in, listen, don't fucking go at all. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If that's your,
try to do it to your very best you can.
that's a pinnacle moment in anyone's career to go and sell themselves. Do you know what I mean? That
But
like
the
for us at National,
association would be all over that, though, right? Wouldn't they?
well,
You would
probably
think. You would think they would.
yeah. It's difficult though, isn't it? Because what do? You know, like that pond might have been fucking riddled with algae and everything else, and they've not starved them right. But again, fuck me, if you're conditioning fish for old Japan, you're not going to put them in a fucking dirty old pond here and go, oh, well, I'll just lob them in there and fucking, hey, get up.
That bit that old Japan, that's the class that you're entering into. It should be pristine, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but it does show you though, and then like conditioning again, it all comes down to balance. How many fish you're going to put in vat? You know, are you going to condition like agata vats were, you know, with small fish, they were quite heavily stocked, but the water were mint. And I thought, fair dues, like they're another one, fucking great advocate for that. You know what I mean? All fish were in amazing condition, looking really, really good. You know, they're going from on, especially now, they're really on the upper gata. They're fucking fish and everything. They're building facilities for fun. Fish are good. They've got good variety. You know, they've got everything going on down there. You know, but again, when they do a good job, they get out what they put in. They're getting awards. They're getting results. You know, fucking hell. Like you look at some at State or some at Vats, and I was thinking, Jesus, like, you know, Dream Koi exhibition even. You know, you put in a fish in there that potentially is for sale, and fucking fish is fucking.
No, to be fair, though, that were a little bit like that last year, wasn't it?
I know they're in there for a long time. Listen, they're getting no water changes or anything, but fuck me, like, knowing that, you prepare differently. Like, if I was doing now what I know at National with no water changes or anything, I would prepare differently for it. Again, stocking numbers would be different, conditioning would be different, everything would be different about it. You know, you've got to put that thought and time and effort. You can't just throw fish in a pond, fucking feed them for 3 weeks heavily, and then go, oh, that's it. We're all right now. I'll take them, no starving, no fucking anything, and just chuck them in a vat and hope they're going to be all right.
I guess they don't get the issue of spawning over there, right?
No. No spawning. They had a fish die, though. I'll be honest, there was a fish that died at show.
Was it?
I probably just had a fit or something, but yeah, fucking fish died out. You know, it just shows you it does happen. You know, it's not just.
It does happen, mate. Yeah. It happens in your pond, happens in the fucking show, doesn't it? It's like
it does.
Listen, it's the fucking risk of anything. Look at GC last year, guys. We followed that fish up to Niigata.
Yeah.
We went to see it in its pond, mate, and it was fucking.
Yeah,
like it was getting blown around pond.
I was looking at that thinking, that's not looking good.
Even I was sat there thinking, this fish is on borrowed time.
It looked bad, didn't it? Yeah, swimming semi upside down, rolling over.
But that's the thing, though. Think about it. That's been there 5 days. They put it in a vat. They're putting that fish in a fucking tank. They're traveling 4.5 hours back from there in a truck, probably longer in a truck because it's 4.5 hours in a car. If that fucking just decides to have a fitting truck and starts smashing itself about, dead, finished.
You ain't seeing it, are you? Don't even know it happens here.
No. And luckily, that fish obviously recovered, got shipped to China, and obviously won grand champion over there. Luckily, but fucking, it could have been completely the other way around. £1 million fish could have been sent to the fucking incinerator.
Is it right? The GC was around about £1 million fish again. Then
I've got no idea. He went to the same guy in China. That's all I know. But yeah, I mean, either way, listen, they're not cheap nowadays, are they? That's why I said for me competing in Japan, you know, realism is we can get to adult champion at All Japan Koi Show. That's realism. Probably, you know, depending on the fisher's time and career, could get a bit higher, but you know,
unless you get that billionaire that just wants to spunk his money,
or that. You know, but I mean, to me, I mean, I'll be honest now, I don't appreciate that sort of stuff. Going by listen, we can all go and buy a ready-made GC if we've got the money. Anybody can. You know, I like people that want to drive, push ambition, and you know, try and learn and understand what they're doing. You know, I've got 2 people now that have been fucking showing for a long, long time, and every year now they're progressing. They're wanting better. They're wanting more. You know, they're coming. And one said to me this year, I want to get a major. Sure enough, he put his money and balls to cross, and he got a major. You know, like fair enough. And like I said to him, but it's not a given now that you got that fish, but you're buying a ready-made contender. That fish was told, this is going to compete for Kikuyo or Miyabi Prize, and it got Miyabi Prize.
It's a pedigree that is ready.
That they've always got them fish. They're always there, but it depends how much you want to fucking put down on it. That's the problem. If you run your risk in auction, you know, that's fine. But at the end of the day, in auction, it could be 1 or 2 ways. You can either pay, you know, like I did with that Marathon Goshki. I either pay not a lot for it, or I could have bought it pre-hand.
Yeah,
thinking
10 times its price of what you did buy it for.
Yeah, and I'd have bought it thinking, fuck, it's a good fish and it got an accolade, but I bought it, that fish basically, as knowing it was just a good fish, and seeing realistically what it was worth. But yeah, I mean, it could go one or two ways. Yeah, I've seen it too much with these Americans. They're buying every fish. Every fish has got a contingency plan for a trophy. Every fish. If you've got something at 95 bill, there's something else they back it up with to try and win. Like Herbert had actually got 4 Goskies in 40 bill. Unfortunately, UK come out on top, showed him out fucking scolding, didn't they? You know what I mean? But that is what it is. That's the same. But like Ryuki said to me, you can't keep that analogy. I did it for Goski this year because I wanted that accolade and I knew we could get there, all being well. But fucking hell, like you can imagine how expensive it is. But you're buying a fish at 2, 3, 4 millions, which let's face it's a normal figure out here for a fish. Oh, I'm going to buy another one just to see if it fucking backs it up, and then another one. And you think, fucking how desperate do you become after that? You know what I mean? It's hard, isn't it? But I try and go with my number one instinct of what I can get hold of at the time and stick with it and run with that. And if it falls short, listen, it fucking falls short. Simple as that.
Well, I said to Paul, because I rang him up after I seen that he'd won, and I said to him, the accolade is, mate, that you brought a fish after considering it. It's gone there and it's taken a prize. You bought one fish to achieve that, where you got someone else that's buying 300 fish to try and take
to try and take that achievement. Yeah,
it's just a fucking trump card, man, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? That's it. How many did you buy? Oh, have that. Look, I just got that one. Done. Smash
for me, that in itself is awesome.
No offense. If I was Herbert, though, if I was Herbert going from like 18 fish to 300 fish, I'd have been expecting what he got this year. Looking under and the amount of money he spent.
Exactly.
The money I heard he earned now.
Realistically, how much money is thrown into that competition, mate?
For him, it don't matter. I mean, I was earning some figure that he was earning every fucking year, just sat on his arse doing nothing now. And I was just sat there thinking, we're all fucking got no hope. This is another Benedict Campos has literally just come into the fray.
Yeah.
And then now he's already buying Benedict Campos fish because he's throwing that much money at it. But fucking hell, he's
Major league.
What he spent on one fish, I've spent in all my collection.
You're looking about 80 grand just to enter them.
I think it was more, actually. Knowing what I paid for my show fees, it'd been more. Because big fish as well.
Yeah, bigger fish goes up.
Yeah.
An average big fish there with transportation costs and show fees would be about 750 quid to $1,000.
So you're looking probably more in a remit of 120k then.
So how many are you entering next year, Matt?
Me?
One.
Oh, yeah, one.
You only need one to win, mate, don't you? Paul.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just you do to win grand champion. You need one fish to win. It's a simple. You buy the one, but it literally, like a Dainichi now, and you look how they're doing it. They're not going to start offering fish out at 5-year-old. They think it's got in with a chance because they know in 2 years' time that fish is going to be worth triple that because I'm going to sell it as a ready-made GC. Someone's going to come in and just go, there you go, have that. Thank you very much. Sign check off. Job done. Just look at China now. Every GC, that Dainichi Kohaku, in 3 years' time, will be in China. It'll win Grand Champion again. It'll probably get moved to China. And that'll be it. Because they want it then to go and win Grand Champion in China. That's all they'll do. And it's just a monopoly. You'll just keep seeing fish conveyor belted out like that now. That's it. They did it with Showa. Showa's done it in China. Do you know what I mean? And they need something else then, in timing-wise now, that something else has got to come through. You know what I mean? For next year, and same thing again. They'll just keep throwing money at it because they've got them. Unfortunately, Chinese market is more brutal than American.
Does a fish like that then end up as brood stock for future champions and from quality fish to come? From that?
Does
the show fish ever progress to that?
I've not heard a lot of it since S Legend actually. When Sakai S Legend won, that obviously went on to be spawned year after and fucking died. And obviously that didn't go very well. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I think you've got the complication.
Well, that one didn't go down so well, did it?
No. Can you imagine having that conversation though, holding someone up? Well, what it is.
We spawned your fish. The young are fine, But yeah,
Yeah.
your fish is dead.
Your fish is fucking dead. Yeah, no, thank you. Nah, fuck that. That'd be me finished.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm
it's
talking
difficult,
about
innit?
you being finished.
What?
We're going to be finished. 11 o'clock, ladies and gents, and I'm going to bring this one to a timeout. You're probably going to get yourself round to the old Starbucks for a bacon butty and a brew.
Fucking summit.
or perhaps maybe you need to get your shovel
Air
out
it,
and
dog.
dig your way around dig your way around to Starbucks. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, guys. And we'll look forward to next week then, eh? See what that brings. I'm just meaning in the sense of Rick's going to probably come back with some massive tale of how pissed he got tonight while he's been at his gig. But that's it for this one, ladies and gents. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, if you can do us a huge favour, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next week, guys, keep smiling and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, all.
Good night, you bunch of cricket butt.
Good morning.
There it is. This has been one hell of an experience. Very nice. Have a look at that. New change in the garden. I made a little seated area. Into the little bush. So you can sit inside. The other pond.